Okay, we're live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. Hopefully I can mute the video before I start hearing myself, because YouTube's weird about that. Anyway, I am here with Cody and Awaz so far. How's it going, guys?
Hi.
It's going super.
Okay, then, Slammer.
Have you seen a precious around? I can't find it.
Now I see what you're going for. You sounded like Slimer from the real Ghostbusters.
Well, it was a different voice.
Yeah.
I had to change it up some.
Same voice actor, I think, did Toad in that that one-shot pilot for the X-Men cartoon that they didn't end up picking up, that Pride of the X-Men.
For Slimer?
Yeah, it's like, if you want to hear a weird combination of 80s voice actors in a show that didn't actually end up getting picked up, go watch that. Because it's like Duke from G.I. Joe is Cyclops, Wolverine is Australian. I could swear I've heard the voice actors for Kitty Pryde in that before, but I can't place where. It's like, you hear a bunch of different voices, and it's amusing. Yet, God, no, I'm mixing up lines from that show with the X-Men arcade game, which is based off of that pilot. I am Magneto, really? Master of Magnet.
I think I remember starting to watch that pilot, and then I decided to let it go.
Yeah, it's good. Colossus like rain.
That's right. Well, where is Tractor so I can save Sister from getting run over? And look, I have powers. I am Metal Man.
Yeah, all the stereotypes and all the weird voices and creepy Nightcrawler. I find that short delightful just because of the moment in time it captures. Animation's not bad either. I'm actually interested to see what would have happened had they made the show. We'd have a different Wolverine, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. I like the one they did for the 90s cartoon. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, that show is overall better. It's just in the alternate universe where they picked up the other show instead. That's fun to think about for me. It's just like the bad 80s cartoon style of it in like the classic Chris Claremont X-Men team up. Like, I like that cast of characters. Dazzler was a weird choice, but I don't mind it. It's just like, yeah, I find that pilot fun. Anyway,
see if I can find it again.
It's just on YouTube. There's no real licensed way to watch it. Unless it was on the special features of one of those DVDs they put out, but I am not sure. I have all of them, but I am not sure. I have a VHS tape with it on it. An official one at that. It's got like that and like 3 other random episodes of stuff on it.
Come watch our new show. You will love it.
Or don't watch the show. It doesn't exist.
We had high hopes and they were dashed.
Yep. Utterly. Anyway, that's some X-Men side ramble. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Oh, hoping that it cools off again. It's been up in the 70s. It's way too early for that.
Are you kidding?
Pine pollen's already out. You go out and your car is just covered in yellow pollen.
I'm ready for it to be warm.
Nah, I don't want the humidity.
Oh, the humidity.
Oh, it's a sheer travesty.
I'm ready for the warm weather, and I'm ready for construction to not be happening next to my house.
Yeah, that could do it.
Yeah, my week's not been fantastic because it's constant construction next door. Like, I'm the edge house on the street, and it was like next to what was previously protected green space, which is now going to be more townhouses. So that's been going on for a few months, and my house is basically a constant seismic event. In unrelated news, my water heater broke. So
that's not cool.
Yeah, so I don't have hot water. I haven't had hot water in the last few days. not fantastic, but not like I can claim anything because it's entirely possible that just busted on its own because it's from 1998. So I was not aware of that. It's time to replace that thing.
Yeah, they do wear out.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was just a small leak happened somewhere. I don't know where. It's probably in the back of it. It's in a weird closet kind of situation. But it's not like a big flood or anything, so that's a positive. And my computer's being shit, so if the Hangout stops partway through, that's why. It's going to be an expensive week.
Oh. Yeah, messing with PC stuff's not fun.
Yeah, this is I know people jump on Macs all the time, but like, this is a 2012 mid-tier MacBook Pro, so it's like, it's on its way out. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, I had to restart my computer before I started setting the Hangout up because I had this external hard drive plugged in. I'm like, okay, I want to minimize tasks for this because I know my computer's been slow. So I hit eject. Nothing happens. I try to hit eject again. Beach ball. Like the little, like you get on Macs, you get that little beach ball of doom, like where the task is stalled. And I was like, okay, I've also got 4 Chrome tabs open. I'm going to go close that. I try to go do that at the same time it's trying to compute the fact that I want to eject a hard drive. Computer freezes. I have to unplug this and hope it doesn't get corrupted, and hard shut down the computer. It's done.
Yep, stick a fork in it.
Yep. Yeah. Gonna be an expensive week. Maybe it wasn't the best time this month to pick up an Xbox One X. It's like, all that crap hits 2 weeks after I get that. It's like, not fantastic. Oh well.
I guess there's always pawn shop.
Yeah. Nah, I'm fine to do it. It's just, it sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, it was like, what was it? I told my wife at one point, I was like, all right, we cannot have any more monthly bills. Something that's a bill that's going to be due every month. And then my father-in-law gets so he's going to get a new truck and asks if I want to buy his old one. And I'm like, yes, I'd like to have a truck. So we got another monthly payment. So, yeah.
Also, I figure I should clarify after that ramble. This is just a root beer, not an actual beer.
It wasn't that bad, huh?
I don't drink, but this computer's got me thinking about it.
Tech issues are just the worst. It's just, unfortunately, it just stinks when you've got them.
Yeah. Or anything more positive?
I don't know.
What's been going on elsewhere?
Captain Marvel
stuff. Yes, I haven't seen it yet. The discussion will go swimmingly if none of us have seen it.
I've seen it.
Oh, nice. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. There were some parts I was just like, really? But it's a Marvel movie. You kind of know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie. It's an origin. That always holds it back, having to do the origin.
Yeah.
It's like, you can do that well, but you have an innate road you need to go down. You can't deviate as much. But,
yeah.
I've heard it's kind of mid-tier, kind of on the level of Ant-Man-ish, which is fine. Those are good movies. It's just, like, it's not like Infinity War good.
No. But for an origin story, it was all right. I'm trying not to actually give anything away since you haven't seen it. But
I'm familiar with the comics, but just for anyone else watching, and probably Cody, if he gives a damn, just maybe don't.
But yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. I'll look forward to when it hits Netflix or Disney streaming service whenever that hits later this year.
Yeah. I wonder if Canada's going to get that right away. That's it's always up in the air whether Canada's going to get something immediately or not. We still don't have freaking Hulu, so who knows?
Really?
Yeah.
That's just seems weird.
Yeah, it's a licensing thing. The copyright law and other stuff, broadcast stuff, works different here. Which is why our Netflix sucked when we first got it, because there was like nothing on it. It's good. It's good now, but it initially is like, meh.
Initially, not so much.
Yeah, no. Another thing that sucks this week, but it's just like a minor inconvenience based on that, is like I like all the DC streaming shows, not streaming, the DC TV shows on the CW. I like those, like Flash and Arrow and all that.
Arrow and yeah.
It's but I didn't so much like Titans on the new DC streaming service, which we don't have. But I was very intrigued by Doom Patrol, because that just looks wacky and interesting, and the Doom Patrol episode of Titans was the best one out of that entire show. Like, Titans is a more fun franchise that it's based off of, so the gritty tone didn't really work. But when they were interacting with the Doom Patrol, that fit better. So it was kind of like, this is a good example of what that show is going to be, so I'm looking forward to that instead. But so that Titans got just licensed to Netflix here, which is super convenient. It's like everyone basically has it, just go watch it. So of course they didn't do that with Doom Patrol. They put it on Space Channel. Why?
Somebody paid enough money.
Yeah, they don't even let you stream it like for the week. Like, you know how a network will let you stream an episode for a week and then they lock it?
Yeah.
If you don't have cable? Yeah, they have every single DC show except for The Flash. The Flash is on Netflix. So I'm behind on Supergirl, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to watch Doom Patrol.
I just catch them when they all hit Netflix.
Yeah.
Except for the crossover event. A friend bought them or DVR'd the episodes, and we picked up dinner and went and watched it at his place.
Yeah, what was that last one? Elseworlds?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
I had to find other means of catching up to that.
That's like me and Star Trek Discovery, because it's not on Netflix in the States.
Yeah, the CTV All Access. Which, I get that on Crave here, which is nice. Crave is a Canada exclusive service. It's got like that's where you get like some HBO stuff, Showtime, Stars, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
some movies. So it's it's tiers. So you have the initial service, and then on top of that you can get HBO Plus movies, and then they just added Stars, and it's like, that's not going to overwhelm. No one gives a shit. But
well, so basically it's stuff that you crave, right?
Essentially, yes. And it's owned by one of the major broadcast companies here, so monopoly, huzzah! But yeah, I've been watching Discovery. I actually watched the last 2 episodes. Really liking that show, actually.
I think it's a good show. I just wish that if they hadn't put Star Trek on it, I think it might have been fine. But because they put it in the Star Trek lore and it messes so much with it, it's just like, meh.
I think it's fine now, but most Star Trek shows start off with kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
And being like an ongoing narrative rather than just episodic. Like, that hurt it more because it compounds on itself rather than just being, this story is done, let's do better next time. It's and off goes Cody. I am going to mute him because who knows what that call's going to be.
You never know.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the problem with like first half of season 1 was like, it was not quite Star Trek was the problem with it, and like it was trying very much to be the mature version and edgy, and like people are cursing not much, but there's not been cursing before in Star Trek, so it's kind of like every single one hits hard.
Yeah.
And the standard TV drama sex stuff now, where it's like, it wasn't like egregious most of the time, but like again, each example hits hard, and especially one of the ones later, like I'll say the one that involved the Klingon. The entire context of that story was like, this is a bit egregious, and showing it is uncomfortable for obvious reasons. And you gotta think about it in the way it's like, they could have done this storyline in the original show without showing it. The implication would have been much more effective than seeing it.
Yeah. Well, that just seems to be, with storytelling in general. They don't.
Yeah, like
they don't leave stuff up to the imagination anymore.
Yeah,
you gotta show it. It's got to be right in your face.
Yeah, show don't tell is a frequent phrase, but sometimes it's more effective to tell.
Yeah.
And let the audience use their imagination. That's not like how you want to structure your story in general, but some things will hit hard if you do it that way. And I think that would have just come off. That entire relationship would have come off way less creepy, but much more impactful if they had done it as more of an implication. I like it's the same actor for Sarek or whatever his name is, Spock's father in there, right? As some of the previous seasons.
I'm not sure. I haven't because I had to wait until it was all on Netflix and use alternate means of watching it through Netflix.
Okay, so you are just through season 1.
Yes, I haven't. I watched part of the first episode or something. They had it on YouTube for a week or something, and I watched that. But outside of that, yeah, I'm just waiting.
Yeah, but I will say, like, I was still kind of iffy going into season 2, but you finished season 1.
Yeah, I finished it.
That second half was really freaking good. Like, when all the stuff came together and they did the thing that previous Star Trek series have done. They went to the place. Yes. That was super fun, and Jason Isaacs killed it in that. Other character, famous actor, hit or miss for me still, even in season 2. Just with the turn they went down at the end there. But I really enjoyed that last storyline that they did, and it's been nothing but uphill since season 2 started.
That's good to hear.
I really like the actor that is playing the, I'll say, known character. Not Spock. I'm pretty sure people know Spock since season 2. But he's only like really just showing up, and I like him so far. But the other character, I don't want to spoil that in case someone's not seen it. Like, the Spock thing will go around, but like slightly more obscure character, don't want to spoil that. But if you saw the stinger at the end, you can probably just guess. But not Kirk. But
trying to think.
It's fucking Chris Pike. Fuck it. Captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Played by Anson Mount. He is really freaking good. If all you've seen him in is Inhumans, do not judge him based on how bad that show was.
I haven't seen Inhumans.
Good. But if you ever saw Hell on Wheels, it's the main guy from that.
Sounds familiar, but...
Yeah, AMC show. Kind of post-Western industrial thing. Railroad stuff. Anyway, it's funny to have him in a Star Trek show now, because one of the main people in that was, I believe the actor's name is Colm Meaney. He played, names. One of the,
it's, Colm Meaney is the engineer from DS9.
Yeah. He's
O'Brien.
Yeah, Miles O'Brien, thank you. He is one of the main players in Hell on Wheels, so to have that connection with Anson Mount now being in Star Trek, that's a good little bit of interconnectivity. But he's been fun in this show, and I just really liked the season so far. There was I will say that the newest episode has a callback to the original series that was really fun. And it's definitely Star Trek now. It's just a different delivery system of it.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it'll hit, or I'll be able to watch it. I was really hoping CBS All Access would, and it'd end up on Netflix in the States.
Yeah.
I just get everyone doesn't need their own streaming service. It gets to be too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much longer the season is, but it's been fun.
As long as they leave the other Star Trek series on Netflix or Amazon or something, I'll be all right.
The Picard one?
Well, no, I just mean the ones out of Enterprise and
Oh, yeah,
original series.
Yeah.
As well as Stargate. You know, as long as that stuff's somewhere else to watch.
Yeah.
And I own Babylon 5, so I'm good.
Yeah. I've watched all of Next Generation and DS9. I am about a season and a bit into Voyager. I've seen bits and pieces of the original series. I tried to go through it before, but I don't remember where I stopped. And it wasn't an I'm hating this show, I'm going to drop it type of situation. It's like I was watching it, and then I stopped, and I don't remember where I left off.
I understand that. I did that with the last time I watched Next Generation.
Yeah. But I think people forget how, I'll say, mixed the first seasons of those shows are.
Yeah. And going back and watching them, you know, for the third or fourth time, you're like, all right, I already know what happens this episode. It's nothing I really need to be reminded of. Skip.
Yeah.
And there's
some are fun to rewatch. But
some of them are definitely are. But there's ones that are just like, you know, it was good for like a lighthearted episode, but it didn't do anything for the overall narrative. So
yeah, it's like
go.
I started doing that with Next Generation after a little while, where it's like after a while that there's so much of that, and it wasn't streaming at the time. Like I picked a down time when they didn't have the license anywhere to start watching it because smart. But so I was getting the seasons from the library, so it's just kind of like I kind of want to just get through these.
Oh yeah.
And get them back so I can get the next season. So I started just anything that was under a 6 on IMDb. I just like, is this important to the overall narrative? No. Bye. So
skip.
Mostly anything with Donna Troy's mother. Donna Troy?
Yeah.
Deanna. Thank you. Wonder Woman mix up. Yeah, Donna Troy is Wonder Girl. Never mind. Yeah, her mother, like, she had some fun stuff in DS9 when they did the changeover there. Like, a lot of the stuff in Next Generation was just like, okay, can we just move on? Like, yeah, it just didn't really land for me a lot of the time.
Well, some of those just like, okay, it's a little bit too over the top.
Yeah, it's just like,
we don't need to go that far.
Your mother is visiting and it's awkward. We get
it. Now, child, or baby, or whatever she called her, and they're communicating telepathically all the time. It's like, just
a little much.
Maybe it just didn't age well. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the stuff with her and Odo in DS9, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, they did several things.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. I thought it was handled well.
Yeah. DS9, I don't think I skipped a single episode.
If you watch it again, you might.
Fair. But that one was also kind of more of an ongoing narrative as compared to the shows on either side of it.
Yeah.
Like characters grew more. So it's
because at the season, the episodes weren't just start, middle, happy ending.
Yeah.
There was an overarching
narrative.
There we go. Yes. Thank you.
An ongoing story.
There was more than met the eye.
Yeah. It's like, not to say either version is bad. It's fun to go through either one if they're done well. But it's just like you got more connected to those characters because of it. And the location and stuff like that. It was more of an intimate show because it was mostly on the space station.
Yeah.
of course, they did end up getting a ship and going places, but that was a really good show.
They kind of had to.
Yeah.
There's always so much that they could do there.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of season 1 also hit or miss. But,
yeah. Some episodes are just like, okay, they're just trying to get their footing and find out what they're doing with the show.
Yeah. First episode actually wasn't bad. Like, a really good concept. Execution, hit or miss, but, you got kind of where they were going with it. Like, the non-linear time storyline.
Yeah.
I'm liking Voyager more than I thought I would. I think I had higher expectations because I started that right after going through the previous 2 shows. And between just Star Trek Burnout and the way that show starts, didn't really hit all that well. But I ended up rewatching those. Just because it's been so long that I've forgotten what, I think I got 8 episodes in. So I rewatched the first 8 episodes, and I actually was enjoying it. So I'm season and a bit in now. I've never seen Enterprise. So,
Enterprise I thought was good.
Yeah.
I wish it had gone for more than 4 seasons because there was
stuff
more that they could have done with it. Yeah. But that's the same with Stargate. You ever watch Stargate Universe?
Oh, God, yes. I never watched season 2, to my shame. But, God, that was good.
Oh, it started off, for me at least, it started off rough. And I was like, you know what? I love Stargate. I'm going to give it a chance. And it just went and just climbed up and up and up. And then then it got good, and then it's canceled. What? Yeah.
It's also, it was a heavy departure from the previous seasons. They did that, it was a found footage almost type thing. So that was kind of weird for people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it got really good and interesting. And Robert Carlyle was always fun in that.
Mm-hmm. I thought he did a really good job. It made it really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he just... On occasions you felt for him, and on occasions you wanted him just to go away.
He's kind of the love to hate him character. Kind of like what's his butt from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, the dude that played Apollo in the original series.
I wouldn't know about the original series. That's a blind spot for me. But
Zarek.
Yeah. I think that sounds correct. I'm gonna go on IMDb because I just want to make sure. It's bothering me now. But that show was real good until last season.
Yeah, I think that was just, it's a victim of its own. What do we do with it now? We've got to wrap everything up.
Yeah, you get up until the last season, it's everything's going, or the second to last season, it's there's this really cool court drama going on, and all the characters are growing, and all these mysteries, and it's okay, what do we do for the next season? We're gonna end it, so religious imagery and weirdness.
Are you sure you're back?
That's right.
Could you be mistaken by chance?
I had a call and I ate.
Nope. No. I'm not even looking at the screen, and I'm like, nah.
That sounded familiar.
Yep.
Dude, these are
Gaius Baltar.
We got these.
Gaius Baltar. Yeah. Oh.
What now?
Was it your mana potion?
Yeah, I got those when Walmart or Kmart closed.
Nice.
They change colors.
Oh, so you can have mana or health or.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You just shake them. Yeah, I got it for $5.
That's cool.
I got 2 of them actually.
Cool. Send me one. Not that one though.
I don't know why that one's not.
Oh.
I don't. back to Stargate Universe for a second. I don't know why this is the stupid line that I remember, but it was when they were going down to one of the many planets that they visited, and they were testing the food there to see if it was edible, and one of the guys just decided to take a bite out of it before the test was done, and it's like, that is one sweet potato. And he passed it to somebody, and he's like, "Oh, okay, it's good. I'm gonna take a bite," and everyone just starts gagging, and he just cracks up because he just tricks everyone. I don't know why that of all the moments in season 1 of that show is the one I remember, but it stuck with me. Just that guy fucking with everyone.
I don't even remember that part.
Exactly. It's like, why is this the one that's in my head? I don't know.
It was very funny at the time.
Yeah.
Where's old Liam at tonight?
Liam?
Yeah.
Neeson?
Liam.
Yeah, Liam
Donovan
Neeson.
Viper?
Oh, that's not his name. He's always playing guitar and it irritates you.
Oh,
Man,
Yoshi.
Yoshi, yeah.
Don't know. Haven't heard from him in a bit. Hope he's okay. Yeah, he was having some health problems, so.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, a lot. But
hope he gets
like,
better.
yeah, he was like mostly better for a while, and then it got worse, and he said he's just having troubles. Hopefully, he's just busy with college and that, and nothing happened. But yeah, haven't heard from him a bit, and I was just thinking about that the other day. Yeah, obviously, just hope he's okay.
Maybe I'll tweet out to Yoshi Knuckles. See how he's doing.
Obviously, don't bug him to come on the Hangout, but if you want to tweet him, just...
Oh, I'm just going to say, how you doing? You doing all right?
Yeah. Yeah, no one's really coming on.
In the chat. Yeah.
These phone calls aren't helping.
Well, that's an alarm because my phone is 99.9% of the time on silent. That's the alarm to make sure that the missus gets up and gets ready for work.
Fair enough. Provided a good joke moment for me to play off of, though.
He has his screen picture for Yoshi. It's the freaking Game Gear.
That makes sense.
It's fitting.
What? So my senior project is now a guitar amplifier. That's what Yoshi's doing.
Yeah, because he said that a couple of weeks ago that getting the licensing even for a student project for HDMI was ridiculous.
Like $5,000.
Yeah.
Something.
I guess they got to make their money from it while it's hot.
I think I showed this guy a week or two ago, and I still haven't bothered to try and figure out how to transform him yet.
Coming back.
Yeah, nope. It's he's kind of one of those armor formers type thing where it's like it can come off, but I got stuck here. I can't figure out how this comes off. It's like a track type thing, but there are several other things going on. I don't want to bust it. I just haven't gotten around to looking it up. Not a cheap figure. I should probably do that.
Only if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So where's all your Master System games fitting at?
Nowhere, because I don't have any.
They're all right here. I got all this.
You know what's hilarious, dude, is now we have like Q-Dog's the original Master System. Now I collect Master System in this group, and then you do too. Like that's our primaries.
Yeah.
It's kind of
The
funny.
Sega group is expanding.
That's right. Speaking
I
of
can't
Ryan-
wait to show you what I got.
Yeah, Ryan mostly does like Dreamcast and other stuff. But less on the Master System. I honestly don't even remember if he collects it at all. I've got a few on a few collections, but that's about it. Like I've got there's probably one or two on that Sonic Mega Collection Plus on PS2. I know there's Game Gear stuff, so
yeah,
close enough. But
on the PS3 and the 360 had unlockable Master System games.
On Ultimate Genesis Collection, that's where else I have them. The Golden Axe Warrior, that one's really good actually.
Golden Axe Warrior, that one is
Expensive, but good.
It's tough, but it's fun. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, Ryan's in the chat. Hey, he's expounding and Genesis and Saturn and maybe Sega CD. But that does not confirm nor deny the Master System, which was the question.
Because
it is right.
All you need is a Master System converter, and you've got. You can play your Master System games.
Yeah. I don't have anything against the Master System. It just doesn't take a whole lot of headspace, so I forget who collects what.
It's all games.
Yeah. Then again, I'm one of the few people that casually collects in television, so I can't really talk.
That's actually, I kind of thought about getting into that too, because I guess it's not a real big collection, you know?
Yeah, it's around 155 games total, North American.
And that's the in televisions, like they kind of look like Atari carts, but add a little brighter labeling on them, right?
What was that? Sorry, I was reading Ryan's comment.
They look like Atari cartridges, but they got a little brighter
it's
coloring.
It's different shape. It's like kind of this. Some are different shape, but like the only Atari game I have on hand is Adventure, I think, unless that Motocross is also Atari. But I don't even have an Atari, so if anyone wants this, but that's the obviously different look. I honestly grabbed this to trade with people because it was kind of higher up at the time because of Ready Player One, but no one wanted it, so it's still here.
I might
Time for a giveaway.
I might do it, dude. I'm looking at I actually seen some today. I thought they were Atari, but I was like, oh shit, those are in television games.
This is like the iMagic or Imagic games. They look different. It's kind of like the how the EA cards look different on Genesis. They've got like the full art on there. And if you can't guess what this is ripping off,
The Beauty
Donkey
and
Kong.
the Beast.
Yeah, it's Donkey Kong.
I actually
Honestly,
cleaned up a somebody gave me a Telegames Atari to clean up for them. They paid me $20. So I tore it apart, cleaned it inside out, cleaned the board, cleaned everything, you know, just took some 90% alcohol, rubbed it all down, cleaned the shell with, you know, just dish soap. And they had a corroded RF, that RF line was all corroded to the box, so I had to break that loose. So I sprayed some WD-40 on it, let it soak, WD-40 on it, let it soak. Then I wiped it out really good, and I thought about taking it to some CLR and letting it sit in some CLR overnight, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to get that far into it. I need to make sure that this even works, because they weren't sure if it worked. So I said, you know, order this piece. It was one of those composite to RF barrels, line screws that go to the back of your TVs, you know, the little barrel screw thing. So I did that, and it worked. It worked. So I mean, now I'm interested in buying it because it's a Telegames, and I just cleaned it all up, and I'm like, how much do you want for this? And it has like 20 some games, and I tested all of them, and I played one called Spider Shooter or something. Spider. I don't know what it was. Something Spider, but it was pretty cool.
Are you talking about Atari or Intellivision?
Atari.
Yeah, I thought so. I just kind of got lost in the comments for a second.
Yeah, the Atari. Yeah. It was an Atari. It's just a Telegames. It's the Sears version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard Telegames, but I lost whether you were talking about Atari or Intellivision at some point. Don't know why, but yeah, it's cool. You may have some competition getting that adventure cart, apparently.
Adventure?
The 2600 cart.
The one I just showed.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's this other game that's in that bundle. It's called Dark Cavern. That game's cool, dude.
Is this in Intellivision? What's that yet? Yeah, Motocross. That's another Intellivision game I have. But yeah, do you actually want that, or were you just spitballing? Cody, I mean.
OAS?
Cody?
No, I'm not a big 2600 collector.
No, I didn't say anything about that adventure game. I just...
Okay.
I don't
know anything about it, dude. I mean, honestly, I had an Atari back in the past, sold it, didn't even touch it, you know?
Yeah, okay. Ryan, if you want it, I'm not going to ask you for much.
Ryan!
Hey, Musty.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well, hello.
We ran Temple of the Scar, and then I had to put the kid to bed, so.
Nice. We were playing Anthem before I jumped on.
Yeah, I've been reading up all about Ninjago. So, I'm learning lots of stuff. It's exciting.
Good. It's good stuff, huh?
It's fine. It's okay. He's excited about it, and that's what's important. I'm not gonna hamper his creative juices, and if that's what he's way into, so be it.
Hey, Legos are fun. Doesn't really matter the system.
There are worse things that he could be into. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna switch my. There we go.
Special guest dog.
Yep. That's quizzical.
Yep.
Hold on. Do we have 2 Steel Battalion controllers in camera at the same time?
Yep.
Ah. Awesome.
Oh, is that the?
It's a USB adapter.
Nice.
I downloaded the driver, but I couldn't get it to work. So.
Okay.
I'll have
What are you gonna like? Does that give you like full mapping capability or what?
I don't know. I think it depends on the software. Because if I could use it for every game, I'll just be like, you know what? I'm going to use it for everything, just because I can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
I mean, in theory, anything that has 2 thumbsticks, you've got your 2. Although the one joystick doesn't exactly.
See, it's got the left and right, but then it's got the analog.
It's got the analog on it.
Yeah,
that's true. I was trying to think if that would be even feasible.
If you could remap that to one analog, the other one to another one, you should be able to. But any flight sim or space game, I was trying to mess with it with No Man's Sky, but it wasn't picking up correctly.
That'd be wild.
At least for the flying. I don't know if I'd want to run around the planet with it, but I would try it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like using weird controllers for stuff, so. Come on.
You should play DDR with a Steel Battalion controller.
That could be interesting.
That would be awesome. I mean, you actually have you have that 9-button cluster in the right of the middle section. Yeah. There's your DDR pad right there.
Right there. Fingers on fire.
That's right. That could be good. Oh,
You have all kinds of fun with that if it would work.
be great. And then the dial would
Uh-huh.
either crank up the volume or turn it down. And...
or the speed. I gotta step away for just a second. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Okay. Did you see that Reach is getting added to MCC?
Yes. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That ran 30 originally, right?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
I never cared. Like
I would assume.
I was thinking about that lately. Like I don't know that I've ever cared. Like I can tell a difference when I'm watching like video at 60 versus video at 30, but when I'm playing, I don't. Maybe the things that I've seen at 60, just there's some feeling of smoothness, but I just like
the stability of the frame rate is more important than the high numbers. Yeah. I would say console game wise, I know a lot of people, or one specifically, would argue higher frame rates are always superior, and anything lower is inferior. Like a certain Decepticon didn't even mean to go there.
Oh, okay. I was thinking somebody else.
No. I didn't actually mean him. I like.
Oh, okay. You were referencing.
Yeah, I was doing a sound wave joke, not.
Okay. I got you. No, I got you.
But, I was making a joke about Kevin with the PC Master Race stuff.
Well, I was trying to get past it without getting there, but
it's fine. There. It's all just light jokes. I don't think you'd be offended by it.
No, I remember. He was like, "I'm playing Spider-Man and my eyes are bleeding." Ah!
Yeah, yeah. You went way further than I did. Just jump right in.
But I don't know. Like I was thinking about it because one of the things that I grabbed, I think outputs at 60. I mean, I think I'm just trying to think of like retro stuff. Like what did retro games output at? Not 60. Okay.
No, that was much more nebulous for frame rates. It mattered less, honestly, on obviously retro stuff. As long as it was stable, I don't think anyone cared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a difference between like slow down, as in like the computer, like the processor can't handle it, rather than like output frame rate.
Yeah, like if you're playing Gradius 3 on Super Nintendo and you get a little slowdown, that can actually help you sometimes. But
I was thinking Light Force, but yeah, same scenario.
Same, yeah. In a bullet shoot 'em up game thing.
Yes.
But like obviously when PS1 and PS2 came around, that became more of an issue. This is like higher fidelity stuff, and slowdown would impact you in more different ways. But I will say,
especially once you started turning the camera on this axis, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would say in terms of the 60 frames thing, it's more like if you can get it, it's fantastic, because like why wouldn't you do it if you have the option? But like in terms of telling a difference, you can, I feel like, if you're looking for it, but it's easier to tell if you've got, say you go from Last of Us on PS3 to Last of Us on PS4. That would be easy to tell.
Okay.
Like
I did play both versions, so yes, I
but
I get
that also had a stable frame rate on PS3 as far as I'm aware. So it wasn't as much of an issue. One where you definitely got a better improvement was Darksiders, the original one, because that ran sub 720p, 30 frames if you were lucky. I still enjoyed that game, but like it had frame rate issues.
Yeah.
Nothing that really impacted me so much at the time. It was like the occasional annoyance. But then you jump on the remaster of it and you've got 1080 60 locked, or as near as possible. Oh boy, different game.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to think because I streamed some retro games for the first time.
Star Tropics.
Yeah, that was fun. Star Tropics and what else did I do? Super C was requested. So and I'd never played Super C before, and so that was an experience.
I I wanted to hop on, but I was like just down a comics rabbit hole, and it was not a thing I was
No
in
worries.
the mood to engage with.
That is all right. Yeah, then I ended. Ryan threw Punch Out he requested that I play Punch Out because he wanted to see what kind of lag I was getting on. I guess I'll stop being so cryptic. Unplug this. Oop. I got me. Got me a Retron 5.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Assuming it doesn't rip the boards out of your cartridges.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? I've been careful taking them out, and I'm not. I already treat my carts with enough respect that I wouldn't like. I'm not slamming them in, and I'm not ripping them out. Like I use two hands if I'm trying to work it out right. I use two hands, and I get it. Like, I understand what happens if this if one of these cart slots breaks, I'm kind of screwed. So I let's treat the thing with some respect.
No, I meant like the Retron ripping the board out of a cartridge. I saw that happening where it was like it busted some cartridges in half.
How much did you pay for that, Musty?
100. It was brand new.
Brand new.
Yes.
Walmart. Be aware of though they have power supply issues, but power problems. But
Walmart had a deal on this one. It's the gray model, so it's not like the newest revision. But
it's weird you can get those at Walmart.
Well, I was gonna get it at my local shop, but they did not have one in stock, and then B, the stuff that I had my remaining purge inventory. I think it would have covered it, but I would have been. I don't know. I ended up finding this.
Wouldn't have been a satisfactory trade to you.
Right, and it would have been at full price, which would have been 130, 140. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to Google it real quick, and it popped up, and it was like Walmart, $100. I'm like, okay, that saves me the money.
That
keeps me all my stuff that I'm trying to let go of, and I can still make my money on those. So. But I've been pretty happy with it so far. I haven't tried out the language patches, but I have a SD card adapter for a micro SD, and I'll try that at some point. I'll need to get thinking about picking up the really, I have my Final Fantasy thing going. I think I'm going to try and find the Super Famicom ones, and maybe the Famicom ones, although those are a little more pricey. But Chrono Trigger on the Super Famicom is dirt cheap complete by comparison. And I don't have a good copy of Chrono Trigger right now, so
I've always wanted to get the DS copy of that to try it.
It's good. It is the definitive edition, but my other option right now is the PS1 version, and I do not want to do that.
The loading screens. Yeah.
I'd rather buy it on Steam before I do that.
Yeah, at least you have better loading.
Rarely game on my PC to start, so
yeah. I think we may have settled this at a certain point, but just while the Final Fantasy thing's up, where were we on your interest in that Final Fantasy 11 PS2 thing that I have?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I haven't picked up 11 for either system that it came out on.
What do you got?
He's got the box, the big box.
I've got everything except the hard drive is in my PS2, but I'm sure there's a way I could get around that.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have a fat PS2 to use if you sent the hard drive, I would have no use for it.
Well,
how much do you want?
Here's the I don't have a specific price in mind, but here's the reason that the hard drive is important for that specific set is it has the mini games on it. It's part of the Final Fantasy set.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, it's not just stock hard drive. Okay.
Yeah, the card game and all the
now.
other bits and bobs are on the hard drive. So,
okay.
But I've got a crap ton of saves on there. A lot of them are just kind of ones I kept as marks of completion, which I can do elsewhere. So, like, if I maybe found some memory cards or something that I could transfer those onto the ones that I want to keep. I don't think I really would care to keep any. Not any, but like some of them I don't care. I could probably fairly easily clear that out. I just need somewhere else to put some of them.
Gotcha.
But because I've only got the one memory card. But that's why I'm like the hard drive is a factor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not in a huge rush for that one. I think like I don't know if I'm going to ever be I want one of every copy that came out for every system type of
that's more
Final
of
Fantasy collector. I mean,
I don't want to get like top dollar from it either. It's just kind of one of those things like you'd get more appreciation out of it than I would. The only condition issue on it obviously is the like outer sleeve is a little ripped and dirty. I can clean it up, but the rip is still going to be there.
How tall is that? How tall is the box? Like I'm just trying to think of my shelves.
About this, and like I don't know. I got a picture in my purge box.
Like compared
to stuff.
I was gonna say compared to a DVD case. Like
compared to a DVD case.
Yeah.
Well, it came with a hard drive and various other things, so it's
like height wise.
Oh, height. Like
if I was going to put
maybe an inch
like would it even fit here, or is it?
It might be a no-go. Okay. I'm going to try and scroll to the pictures I have of my purge pile because it's probably next to some cases I can compare that to.
Okay.
But
I never really looked into it because, like, in my mind, I was always like, if I pick this game up, because both of those editions, both the 360 and PS2 versions, they're not active anymore, right? Like, you can't play on those systems.
So.
Yeah.
This doesn't help for a DVD case, but you have a size scale for a Game Boy SP charger and a Game Boy Advance game.
Okay.
That I took a unuseful picture.
You must have picked it all up at the same time?
No. It's just they're all in a box. I took a picture of the box.
Ah, okay.
I can.
No, it's fine. I can look it up. I can be sure that somebody's got dimensions.
After the Hangout, I can literally just go grab it out and put a DVD case on top of it and take another picture and send it to you. But yeah, that's more of you'd get more out of it than I would, and it's just taking up space for me.
10 by 9 by 5.
That was fast.
Yeah. Amazon has it.
Fair. $1 billion.
Well, I mean, they have the box.
Yeah, everything. For what little you can see of that picture, the outer bit is grubby, but like the inner box that's shielding is in good shape, and the game box is in good shape. All of that. I'd need like one of those static bags for the hard drive, but I think that's about it. I may still have that in there. Who knows?
Okay, I'll think about it. But I'm just
yeah.
That's like
it's not a rush.
That's like if there was one thing left to finish out a set.
Yeah.
Then at that point that would be either that or like the 12 special edition that had like all those busts that came with it.
Are you going for like a Final Fantasy set? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I've been turn it. It's up there. This whole row is Final Fantasy games, and then I got this bag. But yeah, that whole row, and Cloud is standing on top of it.
Yeah,
the amiibo. But
yeah, that's something I'm willing to sit on for an indefinite.
Well, you've sat on it for a while.
Yeah, obviously, but
no, I don't know.
Are you looking for like any exclusive stuff, or are you just looking for games?
I mean, eventually, I would like to have all of them. I then would want to play all of them. But
Yeah,
now that I have the means to play Super Famicom and Famicom games, and there's no doubt somebody who's done a language patch for them, I now can use this to do that as well. So where previously I was like, well, I'm not going to bother getting Super Famicom games because they're of no use to me. I can't, without modifying my my Super Nintendo, I can't play them. But now that's not a barrier.
Because of your Retron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I can add them to the list.
Did you see freaking Analog was getting into it with Polymega today? Did you see that, OWAS?
No.
On Twitter. Yeah, like Polymega's got a big announcement next week about their console. And I guess there's been some talk between Analog and Polymega that like might be almost like kind of like fighting with each other. And I seen some of the stuff and like, I kind of got in there too, because I mean, honestly, some of this new technology, like I guess like, what do you want to call it? These emulation or these programmers making these systems to play the retro games in HDMI format, and with, other features, it's turning into like almost like a popularity game, like who gets the most followers, who gets the most, likes and crap like that. And it's like Polymega hasn't even released their product and they're already, trying to attack Polymega because they made some comments about the Analog, but Analog made comments to them, it's kind of ridiculous. It's just kind of, to me, that kind of
They're
stuff.
Offering different products entirely.
Well, yeah. And see, the thing is, they're saying because the Polymega uses some emulation.
It's the FPGA probably issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the replies here and they're like, these things are different.
I just don't get why it always turns into like with this technology stuff like this, that it revolves around bringing retro stuff back to life is just so competitive. It's just like, honestly, I'm not buying Analog. I got a Game Freak right now. Like you got a Retron 5. My choice was going to be a Retron 5 or a Game Freak. And, I made a choice and I'm happy with it. And I'm actually playing it right now as we're talking. And, the thing is just, I want to get a Polymega. I like the fact that they got the disc stuff in it, for Saturn, Sega CD, all that.
That's the main selling point.
Everybody's already defended Analog like, oh, they already got it in the works. Well, Analog hasn't showed it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous, and like,
but Polymega hasn't really showed it either.
They've shown more than Analog has, from what I'm gathering from this conversation.
Whoever showed that picture, it started because that picture of the
RAM chip. Is that RAM? Oh, it's a SSD. 2 terabyte SSD in there?
Yeah,
that looks awesome. God damn it.
But the thing is like when they showed that picture of Saturn last fall playing on it, but it was not the actual picture of the system running it. It was the arcade it was a different version of it. Whoever did that, why they ever did that was the stupidest thing they could have ever done, honestly. But
that was just a goof.
Because it gave them a lot of flack in like, now they have to like show that their product can still do that. And they did do that. They did do some streams after the fact of that. But at that point, people's already like,
where are the streams available?
That?
And I think there was like closed room showings, and they've got like other people from the games industry in behind it. But
because I mean, that thing's supposed to have Twitch integration and stuff, is what they were talking. And I mean, if they can get Twitch on board with that, where you're playing this retro system and you can be like, I want to stream. I mean, you might as well have Xbox One, PS4, they have that technology. So if you had a retro system with that, I mean, that's freaking awesome,
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not like super defensive about Polymega because we haven't really seen much, but it's just kind of like that, them arguing between each other. It's like, that's so
well, but the thing is, it doesn't look like, and I'm just trying to scan this post, it doesn't look like there's any actual interaction between Analog and there was like a subtweet from Analog about the Mega SG is what I'm looking at here.
What is the Mega SG?
It's their Sega, their FPGA, Sega Genesis system.
Okay.
They're calling out emulation and hybrid emulation or what, like that kind of stuff.
The thing is that Mega SG has the cart that looks just like this, and this is the Retro Freak. It's just like it. It's the same thing. Your system has it too, Musty.
Yeah, I'm aware.
If you can get it for the Game Gear carts in the SG 1000, 3000 games or Mark III, it looks just like this too. And I mean, them going to bat at each other like that is like, oh, well, the Mega SG is going to have this to play the Game Gear and all that. And it's like, well, freaking, they're going to have their module set up where it's built in, and it's just not the same product. And I think that the way people are attacking each other over it is just,
it's weird.
It's not right. It's ridiculous. Like, it's turning into a popularity game.
Yeah, it's more like emulation versus FPGA, which I guess is fair. It depends on what you want. The Polymega, from what I am understanding of it, is the modular system. It's some of its emulation, and they're selling it a lot on the functionalities and having the disk compatibility. Whereas Analog, entirely different business model. They are the high-end clone console FPGA, close to the original as you can get, but modern standard.
Yep.
So it's like they are going for completely different audiences, even within the same market. If you want FPGA, close as you can get, accurate, high-end thing, go for Analog. If you want multifunctionality, play as much as you possibly can, streaming stuff and all that, and the disc stuff, you go for Polymega. It's not a one or the other. It's whatever you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
They're different products.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is like everybody starts defending the popular guy,
Yeah, but
that being Analog. And I can't stand that crap. I can't.
Yeah, but in fairness, Analog's products are out and have been tested and confirmed as working and good. They have a pedigree.
Well,
Polymega is still a concept.
OWAS. You got an Analog, right, OWAS?
No.
What's that one you got?
The Mega Retron HD.
Oh, that is an Analog then. Who's that?
That's Hyperkin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that didn't play the power base converter.
After I took the power base converter out of the shell, it played it fine. It played everything fine. But the 3D games, you had to run it through the RCA plugs, cables, and so that it would work. The same with the light gun and 3D stuff.
So the instruction manual for the Retron showed the power base converter. The Retron 5 showed the power base converter being able to be plugged into it.
Yep. I was just going to tell you that too, Musty, that yours will work with the power base converter as well.
Okay.
Because mine works with it too, and I mean, and I think that does yours have the ability to break down FM off the cart?
I have no idea.
Yeah, dig in there, man, because like, I mean, that's like these systems are like already like 2-3 years old, 4 years old, and I think they're still great products, and all these people are pushing these like specialized things out. And it's like, what's the deal here? I mean, why is this turning into like a freaking arms race of who's got the best? I mean,
right? Yeah,
there's a limited enough amount of pull within retro gaming, because like people in retro gaming are either looking for the absolute cheapest thing or they're looking for the highest end thing. There's no real middle ground.
The most authentic, right? Like,
yeah, it's
like when I got in, I picked up a Retron 3 because I was like, you know what? I got 3 systems I can play. And that was what I could find at that point. That was the best option for me. And they were the 3 systems that I wanted to get games for. So I was like, I'll pick this up, candy red, and it was nice. And that was what I had. But it was RCA only, and it was just kind of, quality was meh. I then came across the systems that then needed me to not have that anymore, and so then I went into the I wasn't like I didn't speak negatively of that system. That system served its purpose for me and what it did. Now I'm at this point where it's like I want ease of use. I want to be able to stream this stuff with as few pain points as possible, and so that was the way I went. Now I could have gone Retro Freak if I would have wanted to wait for it. I could have gone analog and picked up into. Although that analog NES is insane. That's like what $400 or something for that thing.
Yeah, that's
the one that's
like the high end,
crafted out of like airplane aluminum or something, right?
Yeah, that's also like the more high end accurate product. Like,
Yeah.
guess what I was more going for is that the kind of arms race nature of it is more because they are already both going for a niche in something that's already a niche. So they are competing with each other, but they are different products. It's what depends on what people want, and the issue is Analog is more tested as a company, and their products have been out and proven. Whereas Polymega is a pipe dream. Some people have maybe seen it behind closed doors. They've had some iffy streams, and it's still just a concept at the end of the day. We don't have a thing to test out. We don't have any confirmation on it. So it's easier to side with Analog out the gate on that.
Just because of performance.
Yes.
Anytime this spring it's due to release.
Yeah. Well, and now they've said they have news next week, so which is going to get buried by Google. So there's that. Right.
And the people that are looking for that are not looking at Google. At least not within the same reasoning. It's like, I mean, you're either looking at Google or you're looking at both, because it's
here's
both
the thing,
interesting.
man. Like your Retron 5, is that emulation or is that?
Oh yeah.
See, and the Retro Freak, that's emulation. Your I think OAS, what's the Mega SG, or not the Mega SG, the
Mega Retron?
Yeah, is that emulation?
Yeah. I had thought about the AVS. That was the one that, Ryan, you have an AVS. Hi Ryan, by the way.
Yeah.
And those are good products. All of our products obviously are good. You know, we're happy with it. And I feel like people trying to say, oh, your hardware is a step up over, you know, what somebody has here. It's like, dude, you know, you want me to throw the step up, I'm just gonna throw a freaking Gen 1 PS or Genesis right down on that shit, you know. Tell me then, you know, because I mean, put an end to that crap, because I think it's getting really stupid. You know, people want to have options, and like our stuff is limited run stuff. Like they only do so much, and then it kind of phases out. Like I think with the Retro Freak, they just done another model. I don't know if they did any major revisions to it, but they did some color changes to the molding, you know, and it just came out like a couple months ago. I think like with your Retron 5, I mean, I've been following this, and like those are, I think, not being manufactured anymore at this point, you know, and like, you know, it's not like
because they're probably planning the successor, right? Like,
and
they're probably trying to tap into the disc market now. I think that's.
And I think, you know, I totally look at this Polymega as a breakthrough device because it has the disc support, and like they're tearing it because they mentioned it had 32X capability and 32X CD, and everybody's tearing it apart because of something that is special about it, you know. And they're like, oh,
the
40 games?
Probably not having the FPGA chip, because tech people will get anal about that.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Polymega is, what have you actually seen of it working? I mean,
this is what I mean.
There's been no system like, here, we're gonna set it up right here, we're gonna connect it to Twitch, not going through the Twitch app, and we're gonna stream stuff from it. Plug it in, here's a cart, download it to your system, whatever. You haven't seen any of that. And for me, I was interested when it was the retro blocks.
Yeah.
And there's been they've just had these huge gaps of here's a little morsel, and then months of nothing. And here's another little morsel, and then months of nothing. And
but they're not overselling, which is nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be nice to have some information for those of us who get it.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like when I'm saying like when you said it's a breakthrough product, when Cody said that, it's like it's a breakthrough concept. That's the reason. Like that's like why I said like it's easier to defend Analog, because it's tested. It's like the Polymega sounds great, but we haven't seen anything. So it's like benefit of the doubt, but we need to see a thing.
Well, to that point, you know, Analog coming off of just the NT was didn't really. I mean, yes, that item was a success, but at the price point, like it priced them way out of the market for most people.
Yeah.
And it was the Super NT which kind of brought that back down to earth because it was reasonable enough and skipped all of the extra stuff. It's like somebody who was in the market for a Frame Meister now could go get that NT and be content.
Yeah, if they were
At a
only
fraction of the cost. Yeah. If that's what they wanted. But yeah, it's like they're like, to give another metaphor, right? They're trying to be the Rolls Royce, and this other one's trying to be the budget car that still gets you to where you need to go, right?
Yeah.
It just the engines are different and they use different gas and done talking.
Yeah,
about
like high end. Like,
hey, this is Fanboy Wars now. We're talking about emulation systems being mad at each other.
It's so ridiculous. Like, yes, I mean, but
it's a new war.
They have different market. Like,
they're going for different
it's
people
not about
within the
games
same niche.
anymore. It's not about the games.
I'm probably gonna get both. So
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get a Polymega, and that's it. I'm gonna be done with it. But I think it's hilarious that these guys are going public and tearing each other up on Twitter.
This could all be
Doesn't necessarily.
Also, they could be like, you know what? Let's get a rivalry going and get a bunch of press for nothing.
But I also haven't seen any of the tweets.
It's like Wendy's and Arby's going at each other.
Yeah, but I also can't. I haven't seen any of the tweets, so I can't really say they're actually going at each other so much as just barbs back and forth. Like, what does it seem like?
The fan base involved, though, dude. Like the fan base is getting on it, and big time YouTubers. Yeah. It's like,
but that's not the company. Dude, that's the fan base reacting to the companies.
Yeah, and it's all building hype for both systems. So
yeah,
it just it's just I don't like the fact that they're using big faces on social media to defend a product. I'm not down with that. It's like, I don't care how rich you are or whatever. That's just not how I am. You're blowing these guys down and they haven't even shown yet. And like, maybe they're doing that for secrecy reasons because it's such a big deal now that somebody's going to be like, oh yeah, I should have done that. And then 3 months later, they got the best engineers working with them. So they're done and, showing it like it is, while these guys are developing.
Swoops in and steals their approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put their schematics up on a blackboard and whoops. Am I the only one thinking about Silicon Valley right now?
Never saw that.
Welcome to the next
That's
level.
a good show.
What do you think, Oaz? This is my backup pair I just won.
Pair of what?
3D glasses. These are a nice pair, dude. Not a
for
scratch.
The Master System.
Oh, okay.
I won a backup pair, dude.
That explains why it reminded me of the box art for Shatterhand.
Let me show you something else that made me think of this, dude. This is funny too. This will be a pickup later, but look at this guy's eyes.
E-SWAT.
Yeah, look at that. That's freaking E-SWAT goggles.
Yeah. I could pull up a comic right now. It's the Eternals #1, I think, where this alien guy had the big sunglasses, but they had like weird devil horns on the end of the sunglasses. It's like, is that like his eyebrows underneath? And he takes them off and it's like, no, it's just part of the glasses. They've got horns on them. That's from the 70s, though. It's even weirder.
Let me see here.
Anyway.
Musty, which Final Fantasy games did you need for Famicom still?
All of them.
You're
looking at eBay, aren't you?
Well, no, I got some on my Retro Freak, dude. I could just send you a chip.
I don't want a chip.
Final Fantasy.
You want a chip on a board in a cartridge.
Final Fantasy Epic version 0.03 final.
No. No, thank you.
Famicom, Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Final Fantasy 2, 3, 7.
That 7 repro is interesting to me. The like demake that they did for the NES. Have you seen that one?
Famicom here.
Well, there's
played it.
There's one that they've done. So Church from the Game Grinder, who was on our Shantae Prime episode, he actually has an unboxing for it. It's a white cart Final Fantasy VII on the NES, and it's in box and everything. It was gorgeous, but I think he let it go because he was never going to play through it that way. Looks compelling to me. It's interesting.
That's exactly what it is too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never
somebody has the ROM. Somebody's got the ROM for it, but yeah, that cart is pretty.
It came loaded, dude, with all this stuff on it. I didn't even check this out, dude.
The Retro Freak did?
Yeah, what the guy I bought it from, there's just a
gotcha.
ton of stuff, TurboGrafx stuff, all kinds of stuff just loaded on it already. Damn. I didn't even know that was there, dude. It's there. The Final Fantasy VII translation for the Famicom. That's awesome.
I'm gonna stop for a minute because Ryan hasn't really had a chance to say anything. So
I actually didn't know what the Polymega was, so I was looking it up and reading all about it. So now I remember what it was, but I don't remember this having as a name for it. So I was just kind of looking into
Retro Blocks before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, that went over my head. So I was doing a little investigation when you guys were talking.
Yeah, it's that modular deal where they say they can do all these disc-based games and not have to worry about and that's a great feature if it works.
I want to see it in action. Let us do it. Come on.
We're all talking about that, and Ryan's over there going Google. What are they talking about?
What am I thinking about, Siri?
Siri.
What movie am I thinking about?
Is that a reference to something that I'm missing?
STC. Joe asking Siri.
It's good. Yeah. No, I mean there's some weird Final Fantasies I don't have. Chocobo Racing is a weird one. I don't even know that you would technically have to call it a Final Fantasy game, but oh well. But yeah, some of these, now it's like there's version upon version of it. Like that World of Final Fantasy I picked up, I still have it sealed, but now Maxima's out, right? And Maxima's actually out on the system that I may be more prone to play it on. But I still haven't cracked the old one. So what do I know? But I think I've got all the Wii ones. I think. No, there's probably another Chocobo game on that too.
You obviously have Final Fantasy III on DS.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do not have a DS to play it on, but yes.
Yeah. I probably asked about that before, but that's another one I have on hand, just since I was asking about the other thing.
Yeah, I have that one. I've got all the mainline ones except 11 and 14.
I can't imagine why.
It's just not my jam.
Yeah. There have been some decent collector's editions for 14. Like the original version that got blown to smithereens had a
the non-Realm Reborn one.
Yeah.
I wanted so if you bought that version, do you just then download everything that's more current? Does that disc still work, or does Realm Reborn, is that like a hard reboot?
That's a hard reboot. That's a different game.
They just killed the
old one is dead. They killed it with fire, literally. They had a world-ending event that
You mean Faraga, but okay. I follow.
Sure. Nerd. Anyway. But, I believe they ended the previous game's story in universe to send off the shutdown, and that's part of the beginning of the other one. I don't know if that's actually connected, but I know there was a calamity at the start of the story.
I've seen the cutscene for that where the I think it's Bahamut breaks out of his his
that sounds right.
Orb cage.
Yeah, I played a little bit of 14. I enjoy it, but it's like one of those things with MMOs. The monthly cost, nah.
Yeah,
I don't really want to. Not in the age of
all
Destiny
of these,
and all those other things.
Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, and Shadowbringers, these are all
expansions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
expansions on that new version. Gotcha.
The World of Warcraft model is kind of done with. In an age where Destiny and all these other live service games exist, where it's like you pay once and you play. You even have like Elder Scrolls Online. You can do that.
Game Pass.
Yeah, that's on there.
Yep.
So technically, you are paying monthly, but it's for a different service entirely.
Well, it's Netflix games.
Yeah, it's funny that you are paying a monthly service to get an MMO that does not have a monthly service charge.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Elder Scrolls Online. So you can pay once and get that, but it's also free, air quotes, on Game Pass.
With a small,
but you're getting like another 100 games with it. It's just
right.
I find that funny.
Another 100 games that would pull you away from doing your job in ESO.
Yeah, but I just find that funny. It's like they added a monthly charge to a game that didn't have a monthly charge.
Yeah.
Mildly amusing.
Kinda.
I got impatient waiting for them to put that on, so I ended up just paying $10 for the base game, and I haven't played it.
That's how it happens.
Yep. They do still charge for expansions, but that's like more Destiny-ish, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like more and more the consumer forward model is don't fracture your player base, give everybody everything, which then necessitates a initial buy-in, which requires a leap of faith in some cases, right? Like,
yeah, but then the way that pays back into itself is, I would assume, you have constant coverage of the new content, and then people who didn't jump in originally are like, okay, now I'll go buy the game because there's more stuff in it. So you're getting consistent sales on the original thing rather than fracturing people by putting more things out.
Yeah.
It makes it an easier buy-in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that, not that I want to go into immense detail over Anthem, but I have to wonder when does the level cap jump, right? Like when do they open it up to 40?
Oh, God.
Because they will.
I know. I'm just kind of parsing that out in my head right now. Honestly, if they were smart, probably not that
for a
long
while
from now.
Or
No,
not
I
too
mean
long.
not that long from now. Because people who are done are freaking done. There's not much to do.
Yeah.
Once you hit that level cap, you are replaying the same stuff on harder difficulties. That is all you're doing. There is not enough loot. I like the game, but I'm just saying, just as it is, and I know it's launch content. You got a solid 60 hours there. Fine. These are live services. They require consistent people coming back. And right now, you hit that 60 and you're done. You've got nothing left to do. The loot pool isn't large enough.
Have fun with your friends.
Exactly, but like just the
or walk the people. You get the other people up like that. That's what.
Yes.
So Sean was talking to Jake about getting him like running through the story stuff with him, just to experience it more and to open up more opportunities for him to gain more loot or get legendaries. I don't know.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like,
I paid very little attention to all this like boycott crap because I don't get it. Like, I haven't hit 30 yet. I'm not in that much of a rush, right?
They fixed the
because
gear
I know
glitch,
that this
and
game is
people
going to
want
have
them.
a tail.
The thing that happened was they were modifying the gear system, the loot drops, and they overshot it. So everyone was getting a ton of good gear
in the beginning.
And it's just like, no. Recently, like with one of the more recent updates, they adjusted
version,
they adjust
1.0.2, not they fixed it with 3.
Yeah, they fixed it with 3.
Gotcha.
They overshot the loot drop amount, where everyone was just getting a sea of gear, just a waterfall of good loot, all at once, where there was a drought before. And then they fixed it in 1.4, I believe, and they brought it
They're
back
only
down.
on 3
People
right
are
now.
okay. So it's 3 from 2. I thought I heard like they are people were wanting to revert back to 1.3, so I was getting the numbers mixed up. Does not matter. Point is, they overshot how high the loot drop rate was, and they brought it back down, and now people are mad because they're not getting their stuff as fast.
The thing. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're not getting their stuff as fast. It's like, we're going to boycott the game for a week. It's like, I was happy to jump on today because like I don't want to look like I'm part of this nonsense. But yeah, I get the frustration, but people are overreacting to it.
It's
like, it sucks.
just
I'm not getting
it's
stuff
just
as
the
fast.
next thing. Just wait. Like, I'm not hoping that Division has some rocky moments, but it would be great to get some heat off of BioWare, right?
Yeah.
But so far, you know, if the I'll say games media. I don't know if it's fair to call. I guess they are considered games media. The way that like a Greg Miller talks about Division, it sounds like it's amazing.
He acknowledges that it's a rough launch and they still have stuff to fix.
Okay.
But he's having a good time with it.
Okay.
They've been having discussions about this for the last few weeks, and like Anthem and other stuff like that. They've got several podcasts worth Anthem impressions on there. If you want to go listen to them.
I think I'm over impressions. I have my own now.
Yeah, that's from people that
have over
that's
2
from
days.
That's from people that mostly enjoyed it though, and understand live service stuff and played a ton of Destiny and all these other things and are into Division, and are like having decent, well-rounded discussions about it, not like overreacting like this game sucks kind of thing. But
why fix blah blah blah?
Yeah, like
angry.
Fran Mirabella, Andre Renee, Greg, and Tim having really good discussions about that actually on the last few kind of funny podcasts. But
there've been a few shows out there that have been sort of addressing the whole like vitriol and stuff like that.
And
granted, some of the stuff, at least from the IGN perspective, they were focused more on the way people reacted to Crackdown, which people are loving, right? Like people are having fun with that game.
Not everyone is, but
not everyone is.
Enough people are.
Yeah,
it's not one side or the other. It either hits with you or it doesn't. It's trash or it's great. It's either for you or it isn't.
Sure. I sunk an hour and a half in. I had fun, and you know, I don't know that the thing about a game like that is the thing to keep me motivated. Lately, last 10 years, let's just say, has been stories, and those being the things to keep stuff moving along. And when that's just not there, then you feel like you're playing an arcade game.
Yeah. Which can be good, but if you're not looking for that, that's not what's going to grab you.
Yeah, exactly. We're on the same wavelength on that.
Yeah, it's I think my thing with Anthem is like you and Sean have come back at me of my criticisms a few times, not like angrily, but like I feel like you're taking me more seriously than I mean in terms of negativity. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be critical of it.
It's just that in a sea of everyone else, that
I understand. I understand.
No,
it's frustrating. Like, stop talking crap about this game. Damn it! It's got leave it alone.
You are a little gritty, dude. I mean, when it comes to like playing the guitar or my little noisemaker, you get pretty gritty. So
he's just doing us all a favor.
I'll just break out the ruler. Anyway, it's that's more for like practicality of listening purposes and keeping conversations going. Anyway, not the point. The thing with me for Anthem right now is just like I have enjoyed this near 60 hours I've put into it, and it is fun to replay with people like that are still running through it. But what happens when everyone's run through everything? You've hit the end point. There's not really... These games are intended to have a loop that you can come back to, even like the grind. Like, if you go into Destiny, you can pick up your daily bounties and just go run that while listening to a podcast. That's a thing that keeps you engaged in the game, even if it's kind of monotonous. There's not really anything to do while you're waiting for other stuff to come out in Anthem. You run your daily quests, but they're not personally all that engaging. to me. Like, it's not really a huge motivation to go back solo, at least.
Sure.
Running with friends is different. But it's right now there's nothing to engage me solo going into free play, other than the contracts I have left over. I'm looking at that wall where it's telling me to do 100 world events and going, no, thank you, I'm good. Because it's just like the world events aren't compelling to me solo. If I'm running with you guys and you're just happening to do stuff and I'm popping on and we happen to do a few, that's fine. But it's not pulling me in to do that.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's more in relation to playing with friends that already happen to be playing it, not something the game is doing itself to pull me back in. That makes sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the other day I went and I soloed Derby Giants just because I felt like it.
Yeah, that stuff can be cool.
And that felt good. That
limited events.
That made me feel powerful because the previous time it was a struggle, right?
Yeah,
right?
You can go back and trounce enemies that you had trouble with before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But there, you're right. There will be a time when that isn't there with the current offerings, right?
Yeah. But they will improve and they'll add more. It's just why I said like how we got on to this is the level cap thing. It's like why I'm saying if they're smart about it, they will not hold off any longer than at most 6 months, because people are like they are planning on releasing more stuff within the next 2 months.
Well, it's like here's your big content drop, and you can now go up to 40.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Like they
sync that up together.
Yeah, their roadmap was like here's a little bit more, here's a little bit more, not like big drop. In 6 months, ideally, they will have a big drop and put that up 10 points or so. Like that's just kind of reading the game from my perspective, having played all these other ones. Like with the content offerings you have right now, you need to give someone something else to strive to. Replaying things on Grandmaster 1 and 2 is not enough of an engaging loop when you've already reached power cap.
That's fair. And you know what? You on the topic of engaging loops, we're going to lose the rest of these guys if we keep talking about Anthem.
Oh, so. Fair enough. You started this off by saying I don't want to get deep into Anthem, and then we got deep into Anthem.
My bad. So
I'll take a lot of the blame on that one.
Well, I'm gonna get us out of it. So
yeah,
he turned it around.
Apologies, you guys.
Yeah, from me as well. I will take as much of the blame as I'm owed for that one.
Creeply and Catherine are here.
Usually you're the one
hello,
doing it
guys.
Else. Usually you're the one doing it to everybody else there. Fitnat. Musty you. Got you.
No, it wasn't even that. I'm the one who made the bed and I figured it's time to stop. Because you guys are all like, I just see the eyes. Just like
you said you didn't want to get deep into it, and then I just dove right in. That's what happens when we're the ones that play Anthem and everyone's just kind of like meh on the whole thing. But
and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make for a good hangout if it's just the two of us.
At some point, you need
the
to
three
stop.
of you are just sitting there strumming your guitar in the corner, right?
Yeah. Like,
I've actually been going back through Analog's tweets and trying to find where they said anything about the Polymega, and I can't see anything.
They didn't. So they didn't say specifically. Polymega actually quote tweeted or quote retweeted.
It was like October 16th of last year, right?
Is that where they were talking about the Mega SG?
Where they said the hybrid emulation and da-da-da-da-da?
Yeah, that one. That came up.
I don't see that tweet on Analog's history.
That's wild.
I need to get some water while you guys talk.
Yeah, October 16th.
Yeah,
it's a picture. It's not even a real retweet. It's a picture. So they must have screen capped it.
Or they made it themselves.
Oh, geez.
No, it's the one October 16th. So
there's tons of posts from October 16th, and I'm.
You know what? They must have searched for the words hybrid emulation to pull it up because those words are bolded.
Okay, now I see it. Yeah, so they go back and pull a tweet from what was it, October 6 months ago. Interesting.
The thing is, there's something going on there that we don't know about. Obviously, somebody's crashing somewhere.
They're just. I mean, they're bickering with each other, and maybe it is just manufactured rivalry for the intention of getting people like us to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a big deal because what's his name got in on it too. Was well, I seen because Chris got in on it. Bass guy. He made a comment saying that Polymega should fire their PR team, and I stepped in and made a comment and said, you know, I don't play this popularity, you know, game basically, and said I support Polymega and hope it turns out good, you know. And
I hope it turns out good too, but I want to see some stuff.
Chris Alimo or whatever, the guy who does the Classic Gaming Quarterly.
Oh,
he got in there. And he got in there and made a comment, and it was just like, what the hell? That guy seems pretty chill too. I mean, he was taking sides.
I've seen that guy.
You know?
I've seen that guy snap at some people.
It's just people taking sides, and that's what I think is just it. It's just not right. You know,
well, it's just plain old normal fanboyism.
It is, you know,
right, wrong, indifferent.
We're doing it ourselves.
Well, I just want a good product that plays my games, and if it makes them look good and makes it easy so I can stream them.
Yep.
Win-win. Like I said, I'll probably.
I agree with Musty because I got a buddy over in Spokane. He says he's got like 4 of those, and he's like, "You want one?" So when I get over there, I might grab one of those too, just to have laying around. You know.
What, a Retron?
Yeah, Retron 5. You know.
I mean, if you have other alternatives, I'm sure that like the Retro Freak is very appealing, as well as just the price point was double, and maybe build quality, you get what you're paying for.
Well, the thing is, it has like the detachable little module you can take around with you and play your games on, and it has all the card slots on it too for.
Gotcha.
You know,
oh yeah, because it can do turbo, right? It can do turbo.
TurboGrafx, all that.
So I don't have turbo, but I have all the Game Boys are there. I can do 10 systems. I can add another 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Add another 2 if I want to.
It's. I mean, the Polymega is just. Yeah, they need to talk about it. That's all there is to it. And when they do talk about it, if they prove that it's actually going to be pretty good, dude, I mean, it'll just put an end to that whole talk, you know.
Yeah.
But the proof is not in the talking. The proof is in the showing it. Like I said, they set one up, they plug in a module, they download a cart to the system, pull the cartridge out, play off it, and stream it. That's what I want to see. And I'm like, why haven't we seen that? Because none of that would really give away, other than the UI interface, would give away any trade secrets.
I just think, like I said, they're keeping something hidden not because they don't have something, because they've showed their UI system where it shows like a screenshot of the actual like video game that's put in, and it shows like a cool little wallpaper of every game. Like I said, like when you stream a game on Twitch, it'll show a little thumbnail of the game, and it somehow all that stuff looks like it's going to be loaded into the Polymega. So when you pop a game in, let's say I think it showed Space Harrier, it brought up the cover of Space Harrier, and then it I don't know, dude. I mean, you just have to look back at some of those things that they were showing were the UI interface.
But that was months ago.
I'm sure it's
4 or 5 months, and I just want to see something recent, because I was like this close to pre-ordering it, and then there was no information that came out when they did the pre-order, and I'm just like, I wanted to have some more footage of it, show it in action, and
yeah,
as far as everyone knows, all it really is proof of concept. Yeah, they've had it at trade shows and stuff, but you don't know what they have back behind the scenes. And I mean, like I said, I was this close to pre-ordering it, and I was
I mean, I'm looking at the website right now, and it shows the module, dude, of like, you know, it's there.
But you can get a 3D printer and print one of those modules. I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but I want some like hard concrete, just like I said, pull up.
I mean, they're getting to where they're showing, like, where I scroll down towards the bottom of the page, it'll show you the TurboGrafx module on top of the CD system. It'll show the NES. I mean, they're showing the modules too.
But until they take the system, plug it up, and have actual video streaming straight from the system, it's a box with stuff in it or nothing in it.
Here it is. Collect, organize, play.
Wasn't that what the Coleco?
The Coleco Chameleon?
Yeah, that's the Coleco Chameleon was. It was just a shell, right? But it could do all
a shell with a video card in it that looked like a... Oh, no, was it a video card or was it a... Was it a Pi? I don't remember.
Yeah, essentially, I think essentially had a Pi in it, so... But they're supposed to have their own games made for it, remember?
Yes.
That was a fun time.
Well, I mean, it's going to be really interesting because next year you've got the Amico coming, and so things are going to get crowded again around that. So it's like the longer Polymega draws this out, and if they're not at a point where they're ready to release, it's like the closer that they get to that, then they're gonna potentially run up against people who then want that sensibility but still want something that's modern, and will go that route instead.
Here you go, Owaz, if you want to check something out.
Where you posted?
I'll just post it in the chat. I put it in the YouTube chat too. That's the UI. And I highly doubt that that's changed much. If anything, they've made it more fluid or something. I mean, to me, it looks good.
Yeah, but my thing is, they could have had this running off of a PC. I want to see.
Probably. I mean, you can put it on hardware. I mean, dude, look. I mean, look at that chip they're showing. They're showing a 2 terabyte freaking. I mean, what is that? What is that? 2 terabyte what? Is that RAM or is that, or not RAM? Is that a hard drive? What is that?
Until they have something that they can actually show to the public, it could all just be smoke and mirrors. Like I said, I was ready when they did the pre-release, and then I was like, no, they haven't shown enough. I was hoping that they were going to do the Kickstarter, because I was going to back the Kickstarter and get the Genesis module and probably the NES module and a couple others. But then they're like, no, we got private funding. And then it was like 5 or 6 months where there was nothing. They said,
nothing. You're better off just waiting for it to come out and just seeing what happens, you know?
Exactly. So I'll still probably end up getting both.
It's kind of like what Q-Dog always says, don't pre-order, you know?
Yeah.
Don't pre-order hardware, right? Like, unless there's something that you absolutely 100% know that you must have, regardless of if it was broken or not.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, if you click on pre-order on their site, it shows that UI.
So that chip is a 2 gigabyte or 2 terabyte SSD. Imagine it's the mini one that you get like in a laptop here. So even that alone is stupid expensive. That alone, means it's probably going to cost over $500.
Unless it's optional.
It'll probably be like, you can get an elite model or something.
Yeah. But I don't know why you would need that much storage for
we can talk more about it next week if they reveal it in time, because
I'm just saying though, I don't know why you would need that much storage for that, for even with the
they're gonna have
5,000 games that's promising.
They're gonna have a store on there too to buy the games. So I mean, it'll be huge if you can buy Sega CD and Saturn games. That's gonna be fucking huge.
Saturn games, yeah.
I mean, nobody else is doing that. That'll be huge.
The licensing on that is going to be a nightmare.
Yes.
Maybe that's what the hang up is. You know, I mean, why blow your freaking best secret, you know?
Yeah.
Even though that those games don't take up much space. That's the thing.
Yeah. Maybe it's
fun games and all that. I mean, if you were like freaking, they said like their initial layout for the store, if the store is going to be like, it's going to be competitive with like the PlayStation or the console.
PS1 and Saturn is where the highest it goes up to.
Be cheaper.
So that's like a CD, which is like 800 megabytes.
I don't know.
I get it. Everyone wants that one machine because of convenience. I absolutely do. But I don't trust. I don't trust an emulation box to do it legally and correctly. So I wouldn't purchase this until they admit that maybe this is that. Especially if it's digitally purchasing it, I don't trust that at all. For the fact that these are, you know how hard it is to get the licenses for some of these games, and it's claiming it's going to play Nintendo games. Nintendo is not signing off on their games for this console. Only if Nintendo's making it, they are signing off. That's how it is. You know, I don't mean to burst anyone's bubble, but I
don't think it's bursting anybody's bubble. It's just this. There's a lot of just the amount of conflict that's going on over something that isn't out yet. Even is hilarious. And then, I mean, what if this thing is like off the hook? You know, what if it's off the hook? It's, you know, the people bashing and trying to fucking make them look bad is going to look like a fucking fool.
Yeah, you know? It could be great and it could be garbage. We don't know yet, which is like that's kind of what I was getting at before. Also, just to pause for a second in case Catherine missed my comment in the chat, I am dumb. It is not Shadow Warrior 2 that is leaving Game Pass. It is the first one. Tell Miles he can side quest away. That was a goof on my part. Shadow Warrior 1 went off Game Pass last month. Bum bum bum. Okay, continue.
I said my piece. From the little bit of research I looked into this here, I when you guys were talking, I've kind of I probably wouldn't even purchase this even after it came out. I
wait it out, right? Like
yeah. I mean, let the early adopters, you know, do their thing. You know, and I'm a fool for being a early adopter. I'll tell you that. You know, PS3
I stopped being like like let me work my way into this one real quick.
Let me state my Musty. I think you're gonna go a little bit longer than me. Mine's gonna be really short with that. I only trust it when it's probably from one of the major developers. By that meaning Sony, Nintendo, even Microsoft, where I would consider buying a thing early. Everything else, you're not in that ballpark. You're not on that trust level yet. So that's where I'm at. Where you have to prove it to me before I stick my toes into the water. So sorry, Musty. I'll let you.
No, you're fine. I was there on day one for the Xbox One, and I think both of those systems launched with very little. And it was like a year before either of them really kind of gained momentum. And then obviously Sony struck their deal to make sure that they could put a lot of the indie stuff on, you know, they're pretty much, Sony is pretty much the reason why Limited Run exists, right? Like if Sony wasn't okay with that, Limited Run would have never taken off. But my point, bring it back. My point being that I feel like I jumped at it because for some reason I was being told I needed to. You got to get the next one. You got to get the next one. I was still happy with my 360. I was still moving there. I hadn't even gotten a PS3 at that point. I could have gone in that direction, but I wanted the new shiny. And so I said, I'm not going to be a day one buyer on consoles anymore. Like, there's just not a need for it. I was not on the Switch. I was not on the X, although within a month I had an X because I saw field tests, I saw comparisons, and I had like eyewitness testimony from like Miles and Catherine. for example, who picked up a Scorpio edition, and I get to hear the stories of this thing working. And this is the same way, right? Like, I wouldn't want, the random clone console. I'm not there on day one for a random clone console. No, thank you. Right? For the same reasons that, Ryan was saying, like, I don't know what their build quality is. I don't know any of that stuff. And so I need somebody else to do my legwork to figure that stuff out for me, because I'm not the type who's ready to throw money that willy-nilly at things. That's not to say that there aren't people who are, and that's not to say that people haven't been successful jumping in with, both feet, or jumping in head first, at that kind of stuff. But I've told myself now, day one, nah, wait it out.
Hell, even waiting and getting it later doesn't always work out. I got an X a couple weeks ago. Now I have to replace a water heater.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of that's, and you know what? I think it was some of the reason I went for the Xbox One. I think was my fear of what would happen if I, based on what I had from my 360 story. Like, for the 360, I pre-ordered the day after they announced it, which was like April of that year. And it took me a month and a half after it released to finally get it. Like, that's insane. Like, and that was from GameStop at the time too. So it's like how did that happen, right? How did I get to be like, I was within the first 100, but it took that long for me to get my 360. And so I think I was nervous about it that way. And it just, I could have waited. I could have gotten the box without the Kinect a year later and saved myself some money. Although I don't mind the Kinect. I can't use it on my Xbox One X, which is the only console that I have for it, right? The only, and I'm not paying for the adapter. If I stumbled upon an adapter, I'd be happy for it. But
some people say that not being able to use the Kinect is a plus.
Yes, there's that too. But there's some games that I wish I could play, like Fantasia.
Let me know when Kinect Star Wars becomes backwards compatible, then I'll think about it.
I
mean, there have been good fun times with being day one. Ryan, I know you have a story about your GameCube, right?
Oh yeah, that was a great time when I was super hyped for it. Or coming off the 64, and you seen the teasers for what could be the new Zelda, the little teaser video. I remember that back in the day, and me and my buddy pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it with Rogue Squadron 1 and Luigi's Mansion, and I remember I did it at, I believe it was GameStop. It probably just converted over from either Babbage's or Funkoland to the GameStop. And then I think at that point in time we had 3 GameStops inside one mall.
In one mall?
Yeah, because it was like EB Games, GameStop, Babbage's. So, and then eventually, GameStop acquired them all. So it just like check the GameStop on the other side of the mall, and check the one on the first floor. So it was like that for a couple of years or so, until eventually they decided just to, in order to close those up and just do one store here. But no, it was a fun time. We got there because I remember they told us we cannot guarantee you a color. The time it was launching with purple or black. So they said it's first come, first serve. We did. Me and my buddy Dominic got there at the mall at, I want to say, 3 a.m. And as soon as we got in the line to walk to the door, some car pulled right up, or they might have been in the parking lot waiting as well. And they said, what are you guys here for? And we said, we're waiting for the GameCube. And the guy's like, all right, that's what I'm here for too. So he's like, let me just go lock my car. And he just came and waited for us. And then, every 10 minutes, another person came walking up. And eventually, when they opened the mall up at because he told us they're gonna open them, go for sale. I think it's 7 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday, I believe it was. Like a Saturday going into a Sunday. When we got there, we were waiting in line, and like the news was there filming it, so it was a fun time. We didn't get interviewed, but they were just broadcasting, showing the line, and went and picked up my games and my console. It was a good time. I got home, I played Rogue Squadron for about an hour and a half, and I was like, I gotta lay down because I was up, at 2:00 in the morning, getting ready to go to pick up my console. So, but no, I have a good time with launches. I don't know. The Switch one was kind of like it a little bit. Granted, I didn't get up at 2 in the morning, but the Switch one was a very fun launch. The hype for Zelda was huge. I mean, you could tell everyone was excited inside the Best Buy. Though, it was the one that you got your Xbox.
Oh yeah,
Sea of Thieves sleeve.
Sea of Thieves sleeve. Do I have that still right here?
So that place was packed. I remember I got bumped up to being the first person in line to get the Switch there because me and my buddy Adam were waiting to pick it up, or he was just there to get Zelda for the Wii U. He didn't have a Switch pre-ordered at the time, and I met him there. We were really towards the back of the line, and then eventually the guy from or whatever for the employee for Best Buy came out and says they were handing out raffle tickets, saying this is how many we have. After we run out of tickets, we're out of Switches. And it got to us, and I was like, I'm not here to see if there's any left. I'm here to pick mine up. And the guy's like, oh, you get to skip the whole line then. So I just got to skip the whole line. And the Nintendo rep, he asked to can I take a picture so I could send it back to Nintendo? And yeah, sure, no problem. And show my picture with Breath of the Wild. And everyone was playing the Switch inside the store because he couldn't leave. And no, it was a fun time. PlayStation 4 was very much the same exact way too. What sold me on the PlayStation 4 right away, though, besides being a huge fan of the PS3, was that they promised.
It was Knack, right?
What's up?
It was Knack, right?
No, it was Metal Gear. It was Metal Gear Solid 5, the Ground Zero. They said that was gonna be out in February, and the PlayStation 4 was launching in November, I believe. So I was just like, I got to make sure I have my PlayStation 4 for this game. I don't want to take the chance of losing out. And, come February, I just want to have it. And then I'll have these filler games until I get it. So I had whatever Killzone. And I think I eventually picked up Injustice and whatnot. But it was ultimately I want Metal Gear. They're promising within 4 months. I need this console. So if you promise a game I really want, like Breath of the Wild, I'm probably gonna buy your console launch. You got to give me something like that. Give me a heavy hitter that I really want to play off the bat.
I guess one of the only, I don't remember what the Xbox One launch titles were, but I guess one of the more ready. Did it launch with Rare Replay?
No.
Oh, never mind. What the hell did that console launch with?
No, Rise, Forza 5. And
Madden?
Was Madden a launch? I don't think Madden was a launch title because Madden would have come out in August.
No, there was, I believe, because PlayStation had that Adrian Peterson one. I think was
the 25 Madden 25. Yeah. What else was there? Dead Rising
3, Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, Crimson Dragon, Fighter Within.
Oh, which was the sequel to Fighters Uncaged, if I remember right. Which was I got a 2 or a 3 on its review from IGN.
Yeah, it's
one of the few
reviews that because it was one of the Kinect games, so they kind of had to do it.
This is not going well. I was trying to load a page and it just was not going. There we go.
I remember watching both simultaneous launches. I forgot, maybe Rev 3 or whatever dead YouTube channel was covering at the time, and they had people are like, all right, which version has Call of Duty the best and everything, so they're like, with the
Sessler's
revised
last
controllers and what's up?
Sessler's Last Stand, or Like
the cess mess.
Whatever happened to that? I mean, I see him sometimes tweet nowadays, but
he occasionally pops up for like video game things. Like I think I don't know if he's I missed the Game Awards this year, but he pops up for stuff like that or E3 on someone's channel. Let's say it's like sponsored by like an Ubisoft review, you know, or like reveal, and he's like Adam Sessler here, and I'm like Adam Sessler.
What?
Yeah,
I saw Morgan Webb pop up a couple months ago.
Yeah, her too.
And then Tina was on the Xbox thing today.
Morgan Webb was on, I think, that Mortal Kombat 11 reveal.
Yes. Yeah.
I think her and Naomi were both there from IGN.
Yeah.
So.
But then Tina, who what was she? Was she on Electric Playground? What was she on? I gotta look her up.
Tina who?
Tina, is she? Did you watch the Xbox thing today?
Yeah.
There were the three girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's one with the wacky hair.
Yeah.
There was one with the British accent.
Oh, and then that's who the other girl.
And then the middle girl. The middle girl used to be on something for G4.
G4.
Tina Wood.
I don't remember what she was on. Those chicks were all hot, dude.
What was she on? Hold on.
You got to have your division. That was my impression of the one girl. Get your pizza.
What?
That was the one girl sitting in the beanbag chair.
I don't know what you're doing, but I like it.
She was the head writer. And she served on some show with Laura Foy, Jeff Keighley, and Scott Rubin. And then now she works for Xbox. She's the executive producer of new programming for Xbox. But Laura Foy? I know that name.
While you're trying to figure that out, Ryan,
Sorry.
what was your on that copy of Adventure? Do you actually want that copy?
Maybe, like I said, like the items, the price of shipping probably offsets whatever it's going to cost me to buy it. Like if I would probably find it here. That's the only thing. Like,
if you've got anything for trade, maybe that would make it a little easier. Like sending just the one cartridge couldn't be more than $4 or $5.
You'd be surprised. I sent like a Game Boy Advance cartridge to Mars, and it cost me like $30.
Ooh. Must have shipped it wrong. Like in a container that it would just kind of ping the system the wrong way.
Dude, I won a thing on eBay from Italy, and the guy didn't put the shipping in it, and I was like, dude, you got to send me the shipping. The item I won was $43, and the shipping was $48. Yeah. And I was like, dude, is that seriously the best that you can do? And like, he was like, pretty much, we were having communication problems. We had to use translator.
Yeah,
and he was like
going on about that.
This is the best I can do.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
That's not how he sounded.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I mean, if you would have put the shipping in there, I'd never bid on that thing. Again, rocket sauce.
What? You gotta check the shipping.
Let's get crazy, dude.
Wow. Like sometimes if you ship something a certain way, it'll be more expensive than it should be.
Well, I learned my lesson. I'm done with trying to bid on Italian. That's just too much. I get good deals on like Germany and France. And I ordered something from France and I got in like 2 days, man.
Those krauts and frogs know how to ship.
Or not 2 days, a week. In a week, dude.
I was going to say 2 days. They had then. Sure it wasn't from Amazon?
Nope. It was from France.
We come from France.
That's it.
France.
We come from France.
Sure it wasn't from French Amazon?
That sketch always got me hungry because they're always like eating eggs and everything. I'm like, man.
Oh,
then the cheeseburger sketch. The cheeseburger sketch always got me hungry.
I've been to that place.
I've been too. It's pretty
It's
decent.
horrible.
Really? You
No,
don't
it's
like it?
not. No, it
I
is.
like
It
it.
is such a novelty. Oh, so we're talking about the Billy Goat Tavern in
Correct.
the west side of Chicago.
It was cheap for me last
it was
time I
cheap.
remember.
It was cheap,
Yeah.
yes. But we went after a Blackhawks game, and it was just like it was a hole in the wall. It felt like a hole in the wall to me, and it felt like a total novelty.
That's where you're from. That's your hometown.
I understand it's from. I understand it's my hometown. There are many other places that I would rather go than that. But we had to. It was the nearest bar that we could find, and they stopped serving halfway through the third period of a hockey game, and so people wanted some drinky drink.
They only have Pepsi.
That's right.
No Coke.
Yeah.
No. When I was there, they had multiple Pepsi flavors. They had that. I think they also incorporated French fries at the time too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
So they had fries.
Yeah, because they did have chips. They did have chips, but it was basically, if I remember correctly, it was only hamburger or cheeseburger, your choice. I could be remembering wrong, but it has been over 10 years, I want to say, since I've been to it. Because I remember
it was one of those menus. It was those menus that had all the lines, and then you would stick the letters in. They had the little prongs that you would stick the letters in, and that thing was caked up with oil, kind of they set it above the fryers, and so I'm sure that whatever steam was coming off of there had nice little parts of
that's what
whatever kind of. No, yeah, sure.
It's all disgusting and gross. Great.
They scrape it right back in. We're sorry, FitNat. I realize what we're doing now.
I'm just glossing it over.
We're talking about French fries.
Yeah, I'm letting it just wash right over me.
That's the only way you can do it. Just lather it up.
Nothing like a good old greasy restaurant, right?
That's right.
As long as it doesn't give you the craps, you're doing good.
Actually, bar. If it gives you the craps, it might be doing good.
Get it out. Get it
in and out.
Yeah, like in and out. Get it out.
I can handle the in. Get it out. Ay. We haven't done any pickups, people.
Nope. I've been tempted to drop off after that discussion, but we can do our pickups now. I don't have any of them.
I got a couple things.
I got a couple.
Well, Ryan said it first, so I'm going
to
present.
Me first. So I picked this up. Actually, I didn't pick it up. My buddy Dave picked it up. He's kind of saved me having to drive out. It's about a 20-25 minute drive to. It's a comic book store in Oconomowoc. But I used to go there more often. They moved to a bigger store. It's pretty nice. And talking with my buddy Dave, I guess he's, it became his comic book store because he lives 5 minutes away from it. And he's a big comic book collector. But the guy who owns the place is besides being, I guess, a comic book collector, he is a Super Nintendo collector. So he essentially uses his store to, I guess, get his video game collection. So he also sells games. And anytime something new kind of shows up, my buddy Dave will text me and say, "Hey, are you looking for anything like this?" And they just got in a huge Dreamcast slot, huge. And one game, there's a few games I asked about, but the prices were pretty high, and I'm not willing to drop that kind of cash anytime soon for some of the games that showed up. But one was below eBay price and kind of my price range, and I added to my collection, which is a white label version of House of the Dead 2. Now, I have somewhere, I'm guessing it's in my parents' basement somewhere, the orange label House of the Dead 2, but I kind of always just want to get the white label seals. I actually had the receipt from the store previous to having it. It was $1 cheaper, too. So, got to put,
a whole $1.
Yeah, a whole $1 cheaper. No, this is in really good shape. Tested it out, works great. So that's one of my pickups. I saw this because of Wario64 posted it on Sunday that Walmart had the this game for $5, the Xbox version for $5. Now I have it for PS4, and I think I paid like $10 for it for the PS4. I still haven't played it, so this one is what Xbox actually enhanced it. So it's got 4K. Actually, they said that I was looking into it. They Respawn did something where it uses 100% of the CPU on the Xbox Scorpio edition or whatever, Xbox One X. So I figured I'd rather have, since I'm kind of like Q-Dog a little bit, where once you see a franchise as belongs to one console, I kind of want to get it for that one console. So my PS4 version will be for sale. And I acquired this one for $5. I figured that's also another good price to pick it up for $5. So
hey, it's the Apex Legends campaign mode.
Yeah, right. I saw that tweet about that today too.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's great. It's great that game's getting some second life. It's Apex Legends campaign mode for $5.
It's a joke.
It's
I know,
because it takes place in the same universe.
Oh, okay.
And then I picked up this on Friday, Devil May Cry 5, just the standard edition. I kind of like the standard edition. It's covered better than the, I guess, the one where you pay $10 more for more costumes, like the deluxe edition. Not so much bummed, but I find it kind of weird that like there's 2 scenes that are edited on the Western release of this. It's not edited on the
only on PS4.
Western PS4, not on Japan PS4. Only
yeah,
Western.
but it's also not on the Western Xbox. They're not censored on the Xbox.
Yeah, that's weird. It's really what it is there's a scene where Lady
had to hide Trish's tush.
Yeah, they do it for Lady too, because Lady, there's a scene where she drops her clothes and then they just use like a street light flare to bounce it off her butt crack so you can't see her butt crack. And then they did the same kind of thing for Trish.
Yeah, lens flare the butt cracks.
But but you can see complete crack on the Xbox and PC version and PS4 Japan edition. I was looking into it. Short story. I was looking into kind of why, and I got a kind of funny feeling that I don't know if Sony just doesn't want to have like a lawsuit about stuff, because they said like it kind of ties back into there's much worse games, and I think Capcom said it's by Sony of America's request that they do it. And it kind of started last year a little bit that it's one of those.
They're trying to protect the children from this M-rated game.
Rating though? What's the rating?
It's an M-rated game.
It's M. It's an M-rated game. There's lots of gore. There's lots of gore in this one.
On the system, right?
But a lady butt, that's a no-no.
They gotta get rid of their anime titties reputation. I guess.
Yeah.
There is I don't know if it's one of those Singrakata games or something like that. They said that there was some kind of controversy and that kind of started this whole thing.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
And then what's it called? I heard too, like there's another game coming out that's edited. It's another one of those Dead or Alive volleyball games, and I think
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's a VR mode. There's a VR mode that was super pervy and
it's edited, but
they had to dial that back.
The Switch version is not censoring it like the PlayStation is, and including the HD Rumble features for more things too. So it's kind of like, it seems like Sony's getting a little weird with their censorship. See, like I said, it is an M-rated game, so I don't know why, but I think they're just trying to be overly cautious, and you know, in today's day and age, but I don't think it's necessary. It's not a deal breaker for me. The game is perfectly fine. I just saw it and I thought it was weird.
But I guess the Xbox version is X enhanced in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take your PS4 copy then if you don't want it.
This one? No.
Also, Steven in the chat, thanks for using my wordplay over again.
But
I want that for PS4
with Trish and Tush.
It plays great. I mean I saw like quick story. I was looking back and forth. I played the demo for both the Xbox and PS4. I prefer the PlayStation controller with it. It's just because I'm more familiar with it with the franchise growing up with it on the PS2. But the only thing is, it ran about the same for both consoles, so I kind of just went with the PS4 version over that for that reason alone. Now I do have an adapter, and I kind of have gone replaying the third game recently, and I don't know, it's definitely a franchise I've come to like more and more over the time. So it's, I don't know, maybe I will seek out the Xbox version as well at some point down the road, but I plan on keeping this one. I'm still playing through it at the moment, so and that's my pickups for this week.
It's pretty good.
I love it. It's fantastic. It's so good.
It's weird that two games that have gameplay revolving around prosthetic arms fall into release within weeks of each other.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Between that one and Sekiro
comes out next week.
Yeah. I just find
and the Souls crowd is going nuts, right? Like excited, excited nuts. Like,
yeah, that game looks really good.
Man. It looks good.
I'm like worried I'm gonna end up buying it. It's like, I don't finish those games, damn it. I have every single one except for Dark Souls 3, and I haven't finished any of them.
What? You don't got Dark Souls 3? Dude, that's like, in my opinion, it's pretty good, dude.
I mean, I've got Dark Souls 1 twice. I got it for free with Games with Gold, and then I rebought the remastered edition. Well, granted, it was $14 on sale. But I have that. I bought Demon Souls at the time. Not brand new, but I bought it. And Dark Souls 2. And it's like, and Bloodborne. It's like, Jesus Christ, I gotta finish one of these. Or at least get a decent amount into it. It makes it really hard to want to jump on another one that I haven't finished any of them. But Sekiro is different enough, it just looks more compelling to me.
Well, I have to wonder if Neo gets pushed. Because there really hasn't been a whole lot of talk about it in the last, 6 months? 9 months?
Yeah. Apparently it's different enough from Neo. Like, there's no
sure, yeah. I mean, some of the mechanics are different, but I mean, obviously it's not like it's coming out weeks after that one. So it's possible that the crowd that, gets their fill of Sekiro finishes that, and that's about the perfect time then to drop Neo.
Yeah. Maybe. That's one I also wanted to try, but the difficulty is more Souls-ish, if that makes more sense, more slow and deliberate rather than quick, like Sekiro is kind of pitched as.
Yeah.
And I like that stealth is an option, but it's not a stealth game. Like, there's not sections where you have to, like, super stealth through the game. But if you want to sneak behind an enemy, you can do that.
There's no Mary Jane levels.
Oh. It's not that thing. It's like, it's not it's not Tenchu is what I was saying.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to make a Spider-Man joke.
Fair. Those were okay. They got a little annoying.
Yeah, my Spider-Man joke kind of sucked.
Oh, it's fine.
I don't know what's going on here, but it's a classic.
I got some things.
Okie dokie.
My buddy, if y'all remember my my buddy who brought that box of Sega CD stuff.
Yes.
Well, he came over.
Oh, man.
Stopped over. He didn't have a box this time, but he walked up holding something that required it required two hands to carry. And that's this guy.
Nice.
My favorite controller.
Yeah. Super comfortable and heavy. Like,
it's a great controller.
Yeah.
Now you can play Landstalker in comfort.
Well, I tried playing so I tried playing Life Force with it because you can map the buttons for the NES to a Genesis controller on the Retron. So I can use this for shooters if I don't feel like just plugging in an Advantage. But it's a really comfy, got the hand placement spot here and everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable. Individual turbos for each button instead of just a universal turbo. Then you can change how often the turbo hits with the slider, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so
good job, Musty.
Yeah, thanks to my buddy there.
Controller.
And then the next thing is not a Loot Crate, but came in a Loot Crate box. This was a little deal that I did with Scott, and so this is
You didn't want to keep
new
the
reveals.
diorama?
Huh?
You didn't want to keep the diorama that was in the box? Don't they do that?
I'm not sure what's in there, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I should turn this thing inside out because is
Mm.
that the point? Is that the point?
Yeah, I
to turn it
think,
inside out and have
Sometimes
it be
they did that. Like they did like the turtle cave thing.
Oh yeah, this is this is Bill and Ted.
Ah,
Yes.
Party on, dudes.
Isn't that great? Yeah, it's a little stage. That's actually really cool. Thank you for pointing that out because I wouldn't have
I
realized.
would want to throw that box away now or give it away.
Yeah, he shipped in it. So I was doing the purge thing. He had a bunch of stuff, and then I was looking at his list because he's got that mega list. And so I grabbed some things off of his. We worked things out, and so he finally sent them. So I have some NES games and some other things. First of which, this was one that Travis reviewed. So I was intrigued by it, and that's Dino Wars with the Z.
Bandai.
Interesting jump mechanic.
See, these I just opened today, so I haven't even tried them yet, and I'm going to save the trying of them for a stream sometime soon. And LJN game, Town and Country, the first one, Wood and Water Rage. There we go. Focus. Too bright. There we go. That's better. A little rough on the label, but...
Ooh, can't throw that away.
Right. No, Scott's great to work with.
Replacement shell.
And
That's a fun one once you learn what to do.
yes. And I have the manual. The manual's coming from Captain Algebra at MGC, so I'll have that
You
to
bastard.
help.
yeah. I learned what to do to get the most out of that game, and it was like, give it to someone else.
And then another off the Capcom list. Strider.
Nice.
Strider.
And then a couple more.
I appreciate that joke, Ryan.
Looking good.
Yeah, we'll do this one first. Pikmin 3.
Not on Switch.
I don't think they haven't announced it yet, have they?
Nope.
No.
Might be one of the few exclusives.
Right. That's kind of why I grabbed it now before. And then this one is, I didn't realize that this one was going to be sealed, but it is. Which
Cool.
everyone talks about how awesome that is. And then this one I didn't know was sealed as well, but it is the Steelbook edition. And that is
Gaia?
Dissidia NT, which the free edition just came out. It's available to download now. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try it out. But worst case scenario, I've got the Steelbook. Here's my guy right there. Yeah. But this is that like 3-on-3 fighter.
Yeah.
It's a Final Fantasy fighter. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you have PS4 or PC, they went to a free to play model where they rotate out the fighters every week or so, I think. Kind of like the that's everything for me. Kind of like the
Killer Instinct
model, which was another launch title for the Xbox One. Yes.
Yeah. I can see why that launch wasn't that exciting now looking back at it.
Yeah, like not to dig back into that, but yeah, that was kind of what we were dealing with. Crimson Dragon and like a really bare bones version of Dance Central Spotlight, I think they called it. It was like 10 games.
I thought it was a Just Dance game. Anyway.
There's always a Just Dance game.
One thing I already showed off, which was the original Xbox adapter to USB hoping to get the Steel Battalion controller up and running on the PC. It'll take some time. And then just some Master System stuff. I got Renegade and Forgotten Worlds, Loose, Castle of Illusion, stickles, Golden Axe,
Grid edition.
Heavyweight Champ. Price was right on these, so
Nice.
Bank Panic, which is an interesting game. I played it for a couple minutes, and
That cover art, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's gotta be more interesting than that.
yeah, the Master System missed
Yeah.
that one a bit, but this one's a bit better. Rampart.
Mm-hmm. It has art.
It has art. Bonanza Brothers. G-Lock.
You're getting a good amount of those European releases, dude.
Yeah. And then Psychic World. So about half of those are complete. So that got me up to 160 Master System games, which is about half of, I think, what was released. So.
And more than the entire North American Intellivision library.
Well, that's 160 is more than what was actually released in the U.S.
Yeah.
Only 113 or 14, I forget which.
14.
But I don't have all 114 U.S. released games. I'm missing Joe Montana football and there's a few others.
Wait, you're telling me that the Intellivision had more North American releases than the Master System did?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a linebacker like that since Joe Montana.
Jody, you have stuff?
Yeah. So today I got this lot here for $10, which I was kind of glad about. There's a couple games in here that immediately was like, okay, I'll do it. So I got some NBA Showdown 94. Never played it. Don't know much about it, but okay. I got Heavy Nova, which is really some hot garbage, but for $2, I mean, I can resell it with something. Street Fighter 2. Some triple score, 3 games in 1. Super Hang-On, Columns, and World Championship Soccer. I've never seen this cart, but it's a 3 cart.
Interesting.
Jewel Master. That's a good game. I've been trying to beat that for a while, still haven't beat it. And Gunstar Heroes, $2.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Wait,
I ain't saying nothing. He said, I'll sell them to you all $10.
He's on fire.
Yeah.
Different game, but applies.
So I'm getting close to the end of my Master System collection, and I'm going for American release UPC copies with the manuals. So I'm getting close. I'm probably down to about 5 games. eSWAT.
That's a hell of a cover.
Super Monaco GP.
I actually really liked one of the GP games on Game Gear. Does not matter.
Aerial
Go on.
Assault. And these all got the manual too, and they're the American ones. Castle Illusion. So yeah, I'm getting close to my Master System quest, and when that's done, I mean, I might just open up the doors and go back to collecting PlayStation for a while. But
how different is that Castle of Illusion from the Genesis one? Is it really that different, or is it effectively?
It plays pretty close. I think it's 1 level shorter than the Genesis one, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what it was?
I don't know. I've never played through all of the Genesis one.
It's the same one that's on the Game Gear.
I think it's a level shorter. I think it's level shorter, but I mean, it's really good. The Illusion games for the Master System were really good. I mean, they're good audio, good graphics, and I got a couple more pickups coming up. I'll show you when I get them.
Okay.
But and their Master System, and some are European, and like European games really have a better color palette than like NES ever did. You know, I think that when you really look at Master System games next to an NES one, I mean, I think the thing with Sega, they just didn't have the developers on board with them. Like, you know,
they couldn't. Nintendo had,
you know, like it didn't get third-party support.
Third-party lockout.
Yeah, and I mean the color palette's great. It has more processing powers, just didn't get the right developers. But the games that Disney made for the Master System look really good. I mean, Aladdin, you know, I mean, they look really great. And I can't even believe some of those good games never came out in the US market. Is even more ridiculous, you know.
Couldn't get in stores to sell the Master System. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
For what is worth, GP Rider was that Game Gear motorcycle game I was thinking of. I actually liked that one a lot for some reason.
Yeah, and the funny part is that game is also a Game Gear game. Like, you can see some of Sega's patterns with their doing too much all at once. They did Castle of Illusion for both systems, but then on this one they put plays on Master System 2, Genesis with Power Base. So at this point, they're already trying to extend into another generation with old technology, and they did the same crap around their whole, you know, Sega CD, Saturn all at once, you know, too much stuff out all at once. So the patterns were already there. They just didn't fail them then, you know, because the Genesis was successful in the beginning. Anyways, it's all quiet now. Who did the Bill and Ted impersonation?
That was me.
I liked it, dude. Party on, dude.
The one of Abraham Lincoln doing the party on, dude. I forgot what the speech is, but he's like, saying there's like, very much party on, dude.
I can't wait for that new movie, man.
I know.
They're taking their sweet ass time about doing anything with that too, you know. It's like, what is going on, man?
Well, what's Bill been doing for these years? I haven't seen him in a movie.
Hashtag where's Bill?
I'm
going through my PS4 hard drive.
I'm just looking at pricing.
Alex Winters? Is that his name? Alex Winters?
Yep. Party on, dude.
Party on, dude. The Ziggy Piggy.
Didn't Death get involved in it too, or was that Bill and Ted 3?
That was Bill and Ted 2. Bogus Journey.
Yeah, Bogus Journey. Where they build robots to battle the fake Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Station.
I haven't seen those in a long time.
They're not as good as you remember.
Well, that's good because I don't remember. Anyway. Musty, that Sonic racing game, I think that was on Game Pass not too long ago. So if you have that on there, I'd be interested in playing that.
Yeah, I picked it up because it was on Wii U.
Yeah.
Because I still have like a very small list of Wii U games that I want, like Devil's Third.
That's absolutely cool to have it on there. I'm just saying for practical purposes.
I want that game. Like,
which game?
Devil's Third.
Oh yeah.
So, like,
the game I still want on Wii U just for the shit of it is DuckTales, for obvious jokes.
Remastered, yeah. I got you. I know, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, right, I love puns, so I can't resist.
Yeah.
And Transformers Prime, because that's an odd one. That was an exclusive, I think. Well, that version of it. They had like 3DS and like one other version of it.
Should look at that because the kid was asking me. I put in which one was that? It's War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. I'd put that in for him to try, and it's a straight up third-person shooter, and
that's maybe not the best choice.
Yeah, it's just like
it's not horrible.
He and I played through.
He probably had the time of his life, though.
Well, yeah, the first level is just kind of complex, and you play as weird Bumblebee, according to him.
Because it's not the movie version.
But we played Devastation, and he really liked Devastation.
I was gonna say that instead because it's just more.
And we just did the handoff. Like whenever he'd come up to a boss battle, I'd let him try and fail, and then he would ask me to do it. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let me show you how it's done, boy.
That's right.
Boy.
Boy.
Read it.
Kill the robot. Boy.
And you just get a lot of the Kratos grunt that he always does.
What is happening? We're gonna get a copyright strike.
Nope.
You don't like a little dirty dancing? It's good for you, man. It's good for the prostate.
Okay.
I don't know. Already.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever it was, whatever.
Anyways, you were saying Transformers Prime on the Wii U's probably is it?
It's a decent game.
Vein is that in? Because like he hasn't
gameplay style or show. It's based on the show.
Gameplay.
It's
like.
God, it's probably just like a generic license game type. Like probably a little bit off of the cuff of those Fallout games, the Cybertron games. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I looked, but I know the Wii U version was like the best version. I think it was also on Wii. Is why that's the best version because it looks a little bit better and it doesn't have the motion controls.
Okay.
It's not a great game, but it's one I want just because I like Transformers games and it's a little exclusive collectible thing. I think it might be a little expensive at the moment, unfortunately. Or it was last time I looked. I'm going to look again. That'll also confirm what friggin' other consoles it was on. Yep. Wii, DS, 3DS, Wii U. Okay. It is cheap on everything.
Okay.
It's like US.
I was trying to find more Transformer-esque games for him because he was specifically asking for it. And I'm like,
if you can find the cartoon of Prime, that would go over probably fairly well.
Well, it was on. I don't know if it.
Nope, that's 3DS.
No,
the 3DS
it was on Netflix. The show itself was on Netflix for a while, and I think he watched, but it wasn't like everything. He watched a couple episodes, and it was just it was a little beyond. I think it made him nervous because like the spider lady was there.
And that starts off with the Dark Cybertron stuff. It's kind of zombies.
Yeah, so I think he wasn't really a fan. And then we got into
and Megatron is super creepy in that.
Well, yeah, he had kind of the cow, like the helmet.
Yeah,
Megatron.
Frank Walker killed it on that, but it was maybe a little scary.
Yeah, so he really liked he likes Robots in Disguise, which they didn't really have a game for, which is unfortunate.
That's a sequel to Prime.
Oh, okay. It's just an entirely different art style because of the animation.
Yeah, and a different tone. It's kind of
I
tried to get into that.
It's much more playful.
Skewed younger. It skewed younger.
It did.
Whereas, which is fine, but Prime is kind of more in the semi-serious vein, kind of like Beast Wars.
Sure.
With a little bit of the movie stuff mixed in, but not like overdone. The Pixar humans were a thing to get used to. But yeah, the game, the 3DS version is the most expensive at $13.50 US. So I think you're fine.
Yeah, that's not
$10 on Wii U. But I think the reason for that one being the ideal version is best graphics, least motion garbage. But it's just an okay tie-in game. So try the yeah, not touching
Transformers
that.
games.
Yeah,
what about that Convoy one?
try-
The one on the Famicom. Is that any?
God no.
No,
God,
that's
no.
bad. Okay.
Horrible. Don't try the PS2 game either. It's
Like the movie one?
no. Well, I should specify there were several. It's the best one of those, I think. It's not based on the movie, but it's just kind of hasn't aged all that well. The characters don't talk a bunch, and there's a lot of ragdoll going on. This one,
Oh, I've never.
based on Armada.
Interesting.
It's an okay game, but it just probably hasn't aged all that well. I got this brand new and beat it day one. So that's how much I was into Transformers at the time. But what I was going to say was you should try just showing him the movie. No, that's a lot of death, actually.
The first one, the original movie.
Yeah. The
Part of me
original
was
80s
like,
movie.
The beginning, the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but
Yeah, no. The Optimus scene, if nothing else.
Get a load of this, kid.
Yeah, not the best. It's kind of how I started with Transformers, but that's...
I'll say this again.
I think I was a tad older.
We just watched Winter Soldier like a week and a half ago. So
Yeah, fair.
I think he might be okay.
But like,
Is he gonna start walking around with duct
Optimus
tape on his
Prime
arm? He's like
Optimus Prime on his deathbed, maybe a little much.
Sure, I could
That's
see
too
that.
much.
Just tell him
That part.
She'll be back later.
Could. What about the first Bay one?
No.
Don't do it.
My take on all those movies is no.
Like they don't.
Maybe Bumblebee when that comes out on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
he's gonna be
That's
like, why
kinda
is that girl
properly
wearing
made.
hardly any clothes?
It's not even that. It's just like outside of
Yes,
I don't
son.
want to get
This
super,
girl who's supposed to be playing a high schooler.
it's very. Those movies are very frat boy, and it's
Oh, no doubt.
not
doubt.
right. The messaging there is weird. It's just those movies are no. Everything is wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's
We
not-
watched.
You don't want kids
we
taking
watched A New
lessons
Hope.
from those movies.
We watched.
Oh.
New Hope.
How'd that go?
It went okay. He wasn't as. I think he was. He was getting really tired at the end. I'm like, dude, don't. Like 10 minutes. Stay up. Don't fall asleep. We've been building to this whole thing. Like you could have fallen asleep at any other point in this movie. Not now. Yeah, I mean, I think I got what I expected. He didn't seem to be unhappy with it, but it was like I was really resistant to.
Starting with the prequels.
Well, no, I was just resistant to like showing it to him until he was ready, and I was just I was really pushing. Like I'm like, when's the right time? And you and I talked about it a bunch, but so I grabbed the 6-disc saga, the one that came out in 2015 with like Vader on the
one
cover.
with Darth Vader on the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have.
And so we watched A New Hope last week or end of last week, and so I'm
that
kind
one
of
okay.
yeah, it went fine. He didn't hate it. He wanted to kind of know more about the monster in the trash compactor. Thought of it, like
legit. There is a short story.
I did.
Seriously?
I not only didn't doubt that there was, but I also didn't doubt that you would know that there was.
Yeah, it's funny. I can pull that off right now.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's there's one where it's just like, this is the book where I go, that was fun. I didn't need to know any of that. For most of it is Star Wars from a certain point of view.
Oh, jeez.
It's just 40 short stories for 40 years. There's a bunch of different stuff in here. One of them is the trash compactor monster. Like, how they got there.
Well, he's
No
like, where
joke.
did he go? Where did he go? I'm like, he left.
I think it's a she.
Oh, it's okay.
Or non-specified.
Yeah. I think it's a dinosaur. I'm like, it's definitely not a dinosaur.
There's some fun stories in here. I don't know if they're like necessarily kid-friendly.
Just wait till he finds out what that creature that Luke has to go into in Jedi for. Not the pit monster, but
The Rancor?
Yeah, the Rancor.
What's the time?
Yeah. No, we'll
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, beginning of Jedi. We'll get to Empire at some point, but I'm not in a hurry.
The Wampa might be a bit much.
I think he'll be okay.
Actually, yeah, if you watch Winter Soldier.
Yeah, you're good.
He'll be okay. I mean, like, yeah, he'll be all right. He'll think the Tauntauns are cool. I hope he. I mean, the thing is, that one sets up a lot more. The second one sets up with a lot more action at the start.
I love that the go-to was that, and I can bring that up. The
that's fantastic. That's wonderful. But yeah, like part of me's thinking let's do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, 4, 5. If there's a little boredom, go back to the prequels.
But I don't know that. I mean, we'll see where he's at, right? Like if he's not absorbing them, like when the movie was over, I struggled to get names, like to ask him what the characters' names were. But then I'm like, you know what? This isn't a quiz. It's not a quiz. Let me help him understand the names, and then this won't be a thing as we watch further movies. Because the
thing with kids is they'll watch things on a loop if they get into it. So
yes, that's very true.
Like, get into the imagery, get into like the universe of it, and then if it does click, he'll watch all of them, and he'll get it on his own.
And over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah. There are worse movies to watch on repeat.
Yes, that's true.
Like Phantom. Kidding.
Like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just talked to a guy who has the Star Wars on Laserdiscs. And he might be selling off his Laserdisc player in those. It's a Pioneer. I told him, yeah, I'm interested, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I have the VHS ones from like the ones that have like the actual like poster art on them.
Yeah. Those are all the ones I have.
It was those ones, and then there was the edition where it's like half the face.
Yeah, that one's weird in this. That one's weird in the sense that it starts. Each VHS starts with a section of an interview with George Lucas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Why put that before the movie?
Probably
You see, what I was going for here. That's my George Lucas impersonation.
Yeah, it's just like that is super indulgent for yourself.
American Graffiti.
Yeah. People give crap to the special editions. I think they're fine for the most part. There's a couple scenes that don't land, like the replacements, like the super CGified music scenes. Those don't land. But one thing I was thinking of after last week, because I ended up talking about it with Marmal a bit, was Star Wars discussions? No. Anyway, but I thought about it and I made a point, like how one of the things that the prequels did was they really built the world up. Because like as great as the original trilogy was, it's like 4 planets. It like you don't really get a sense of a universe there in the movies themselves. It's like there are 4 planets and you've got desert, snow, forest. And it's just kind of like
they're just biomes at that point.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But one of the things I thought about after that I really appreciated.
Swamp. You forgot edition, Swamp.
Yes, I did not forget Swamp. I just decided to shut my mouth. But I decided to move on to my actual point. Was that one of the things that special editions did is they fleshed out Bespin City. Like they open the windows up and they give you a bit more look at the actual city. It feels more like a place rather than a floating office.
It's interesting.
Interesting
way to put that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's not any crap on it. It's just like the nature of the effects. It didn't really lend much. It's just white hallways. They're interesting white hallways for like when you're watching the movie. It's like you are sucked into that. But in terms of like fleshing out the world itself, you don't get a sense of much. But it opens it out. You see outside and you see some people walking around. It's just it gives you a little bit more of a feel of that world rather than white hallways in the sky. You know?
I think that was a song from like the 70s, right?
I did not even.
I was thinking of like
the Journey song. Yeah.
No, I was thinking of the Doors, Riders on the Storm, or like I don't. Never mind. I tried. Never mind.
Yeah, I just appreciate fleshing it out that little bit in the movie.
Who is this guy?
What guy?
Oh shit.
Oh.
He's just having fun.
Oh shit.
He's just having fun.
Is that your friend? Do you know him there?
Nah, random guy.
No. But I figure it was easier to engage with him for a moment, and that rather than be like,
it's nothing harmful. It's just it's not harmful. He's just having fun.
We've had worse.
Much worse.
But
mine smells like soda. I immediately thought of that line from Family Guy.
Guys, I'm gonna head out for tonight.
Yeah, we're kind of reaching that point anyway.
I need to get up a little bit earlier for work, so I'm just gonna head out for tonight.
Yeah, see you.
See you
I'll
later.
talk to you guys later.
See you.
Bye.
I'm not gonna be too much longer behind him, but I'm just trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah,
I miss Q-Dogs. What are they doing?
What?
What have the Q-Dogs been doing?
I don't know.
No idea.
They released in the Q-Dog house today, didn't they?
Yeah. I meant to watch that, but I didn't get to it.
That's the perfect place to find out what they're doing.
Cody can't be bothered to watch the videos.
I watch them. I just didn't watch that one yet. I was busy helping out a friend. He bought a new truck today, so I was helping him out a little bit and ran around to the shops and seeing what they had. And...
Let me explain. Not takes too long. Let me sum up.
What? Sorry, I'm drifting in and out at this point, I think.
Yeah, I won't be joining anymore in about a month. I'm going back to work, and I'll be gone for about 7 months.
Gone?
Well,
just like on-site kind of stuff?
Well, I'm going to go work in North Dakota, and then I'm going to go be stationed at a station for about 5 months.
Wow.
I might get some phone talk in every now and then, chat, but I ain't going to be able to do this.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Is it actually like Firewatch? Have you played Firewatch?
You just got a base that you live. I'll live at the base, and then, yeah. We do have a lookout there too, though. It's kind of cool. It's got a stove and beds and all that in it. We went and stayed up there last spring. It was pretty cool. Good view. You can look right into Glacier Park.
That's cool.
You're pretty high elevation. It's pretty cool. Get in shape, boys. So when you see me at PRGE, you know I'll be flexing. What's up? Then we'll go get some junk food, right? Get those, what is that? Pine Street biscuits.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh,
We got to do the pizza joint too. We didn't do that.
sizzle pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
I'm still probably a no-go on PRG this year just because unless things happen to work out with finances and stuff, but Philly's gonna I think Philly's gonna be my
big outing.
my big travel other than Midwest, which is that's my home show. So
Even if
I'm
I get
basically
everything,
calling it my home show, even though it's 4 hours away. But
Dude, I want to go on a cruise, man. Myself, I want to go on a cruise somewhere.
By yourself?
No. Just, we were talking about planning a cruise.
even if I got everything sorted for PRG this year, it would probably not be a great idea. I have to replace a water heater this week and also probably my computer.
You're going to go, dude?
No, that's what I was saying. It's like, it's going to be an expensive week.
Handle the Rogue Brewery burgers anyways.
I was bringing a bag of carrots to munch on. It's fine.
oh, it's Portland. There's plenty of
Yeah.
vegan eateries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. Better place than most.
Yeah. Well, if you don't make it this year, next year might be one that's worth getting to, maybe.
Yeah, heavy wink.
I don't know, man. We might do PlayStation Experience if they have it this year.
Didn't they cancel it last year?
Yeah, and we didn't go to the 2017 one because it was in Anaheim again, and we already did Anaheim the year before.
Oh, that you mentioned Anaheim, and that jogged my memory on something that we could talk about, but it would be another easy half hour worth of discussion, so I probably should.
Damn it, dude, I'm not even tired. You guys go to bed so early compared to me.
Well,
what time do you wake up?
I was up by like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock your time?
Sleep all day, dude. You got that wrong.
Anaheim jogged my mind on Star Wars stuff because of Celebration. But
oh, well, no, I was gonna get to the same spot, but the old Galaxy's Edge thing.
Yeah,
is what I was to where.
Did you see that animatronic?
From
Galaxy's Edge.
No, which one?
It's Hondo Onaka. It's the robot voiced by Jim Cummings.
Oh, you're talking about Star Wars Land?
Yeah.
Star Wars Land, yes.
Just look that animatronic up. It's bonkers. If you wanted to hear Pete from Goof Troop talking through a Star Wars like space pirate, there you go. That's a character I really like from Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm glad that he's getting representation somewhere. That's not what I meant when I said I wanted him in live action, though. It's like a little creepy. Impressive, but creepy. But anyway, my Star Wars thing was another way you could kind of like help with the names for the Star Wars thing. Is that you could do the book thing I suggested before, like do like a bedtime stories version of it, and there's like these newer novelizations of the original trilogy with like some extra like different perspectives in it.
Okay. Yeah,
I haven't read them myself, but
we'll get there. I've got this. So he's way into Ninjago right now. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
And so, like, when he kind of, as we go, I think we'll start to show him this, and that'll help.
Star Wars Lego games.
Oh yeah. Well, I tried the GBA one. That was a mistake.
That's your first mistake.
That was a mistake. I have the GameCube one.
You may have the first one.
Do I have the GameCube one?
The complete saga through Game Pass or Gold.
Games with Gold. Yeah, I think you're right.
But so like you could go through, if you didn't want to touch the other movies, you could go through New Hope in there.
That's a good point. We just started the Lego Movie game because that's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
He's digging that. He's digging that a lot.
I'm just giving you options.
No, these are all good ideas.
Yeah. I mean,
But
clearly I know my shit. You mentioned you mentioned the trash compactor monster, and I pulled out a short story about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's also like fun. I wasn't going to mention another thing, but this might be worth a note if you get to the new ones. There's a kind of more younger reader oriented Tales from Galaxy Far, Far Away aliens for the new movies. It's like a bunch of short stories about some little aliens in the new ones.
Okay.
I haven't read it myself. Screen it first, obviously, but that's the thing I figured I'd mention. Because those little smaller doses of stuff on the side can be effective for that, I guess. I mean, I had the freaking flip book of the sea monster from Phantom Menace, so those things work.
That's right. Sorry, I'm watching this animatronic that you were talking about.
Yeah. I still haven't actually watched the whole thing. I just saw a clip of it.
I'm clipping.
But that character is really entertaining.
Dude, have you ever played Land of Illusion, OWASP?
Yeah, I've got it.
I'm playing the copy. It was on the Retro Freak right now. It's pretty good, dude.
All those Disney games on the Master System and Genesis were pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, this is a pretty good game.
Some time and effort put into those.
I mean, I'm not even like a Mickey Mouse fan, you know, I would say. It's just, I don't know, just good gameplay, you know. All right, guys, you guys are getting too quiet for me.
I need to. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Later, a while.
Have a good night. We'll see you guys next week.
Later, Cody. I'm probably going to call it too.
Yeah, I should probably just call it before I start talking about more Star Wars crap.
Save it for next week.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.